Hola, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's bad girl, Jen. So I hear in the streets. Welcome, 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 new subbies. Welcome, old subbies. What's up to my moderators in the chat? Hold me down with the wrenches. You already know what to do. You beat them out the chat if they don't know how to act in the chat, okay? I welcome rebuttals, retorts, contradictions, arguments, all of that. Go ham. But keep it respectful. Believe it or not, it's possible. Keep it respectful. Let's pay some bills real quick. You know, mama got to keep the church lights on because we have church here every night. So hit me at On the Block with Jen Cash app, okay? Let me put it up for you slow people. There you go. See that scrolling on the bottom? You see that? You see that? There it comes again. There it comes again. It's going across. You see that? Let's follow it. It says, buy me a smoothie. Cash app On the Block with Jen. Cash app On the Block with Jen. Also, I am On the Block with Jen on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. If you're more nosy about me and what I look like head to toe and what I do day in and day out, my gigs, you know, my modeling, my whatever, it's all there on Instagram, On the Block with Jen on Instagram, On the Block with Jen on TikTok if you want to see my silly reels, and On the Block with Jen on Facebook. Although be warned, I don't really frequent Facebook like that. I'm even thinking of just like taking down the whole channel because I think Facebook is a freaking an oxygen sucker. You waste a lot of time there. So I'm not that big a fan of Facebook, but I am on Instagram most of the time, and I am on TikTok. All right, guys. So, also, if you don't want to do the Cash App, you can super chat me. The super chat is the little dollar sign by the chat box on the bottom right. Some people say they don't know where the super chat is. It is on the bottom right, that little dollar sign. So trigger, warning, trigger, warning. I'm going to keep saying that throughout the night because we are talking about when someone takes their life or ends their life, however you want to phrase it. We are talking about someone ending their life tonight, okay? People taking their lives, okay? People deleting themselves. That is the subject tonight. If you are feeling depressed, right, in any way, shape, or form, if you are feeling down, right, I suggest dial 988. It is no longer a 1-800 number. If you are feeling really down, like ending your life, dial 988 and speak to someone. If you feel like you can't call your mom or your best friend, or no one's going to understand, or you're embarrassed about how you feel, dial 988 and speak to someone. If you are by a hospital, walk in the hospital and speak to someone, okay? Do not sit in it. But I just want to let you know that tonight, this is the topic, and I don't want you triggered, okay? I'm not trying to mess with anyone's mind or soul or spirit. You may get triggered because the people that come up on the panel, as well as I, have very strong opinions about things, and the opinions could go every which way. And I don't want you to hear something that's going to offend you and you're already feeling bad as it is, okay? Trigger warning, guys. All right? All right. So let's get into it. I want to show you the thumbnail really quickly for anyone who didn't see it at the beginning. I'm talking about tonight. This is the topic for tonight, which is a different spin on this topic. Is suicide a form of pro-choice? Yep, I said it. I'm asking it. I'm asking it. I said it. There it is in the thumbnail. Suicide, a form of pro-choice. Okay. Very recently, I'm sure you guys heard DJ Twitch, Ellen's DJ, Ellen, the show, the talk show Ellen, her DJ Twitch, and also a dancer, very well known for his dancing, has taken his life on Monday, and it's all over the internet. Prior to him, you probably didn't hear because you don't know country music, but Naomi Judd also took her life. And then there was Anthony Bourdain that also took his life. And Chesley Christ on the right, Miss USA, also took her life. And Chester Bennington, lead singer of Linkin Park. So famous people do this all the time. Famous people take their lives all the time. And that's when people pay attention. That's when people start talking about the suicide hotlines and depression and get help. And my favorite line, check on your strong friends, right? We see that all over the place when someone takes their life. Check on your strong friends, right? I think you should check on all your friends, right? All of them. So that's the topic for tonight. But I did post something earlier on Facebook that got really, really spicy, and I wanted to bring it to my On the Block with Jen audience. Okay. I said, and I quote, I am not fake prayed up like most of you. So I'm for whatever that man wanted to do with his life. It's his life, right? In that comment, there is the underlining decision choice, right? Choice of ending his life. That is what he wanted to do. It's his life, right? We all have our own lives. Now, with that said, a lot of people are now posting his TikTok video, his last TikTok video. I'm talking about DJ Twitch. They're posting his last TikTok video and they're saying, oh my God, this was 24 hours before he died. Now, most people, I'm one that admits it, most people don't admit it, but most people have a morbid curiosity, right? They have this love-hate relationship with death, right? Nobody likes talking about it, though it's the one thing, the only thing that's guaranteed in life. Love is not guaranteed. Happiness is not guaranteed. Wealth is not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed except for death. Before, people used to say it's nothing guaranteed but taxes and death. And if we know anything about Trump, not even taxes are guaranteed because you could get out of taxes too, right? But death is the only thing that's absolutely fucking-teed. Nobody gets out this bitch alive, right? Yet nobody likes talking about it. It's a touchy subject. Jen, why are you talking about that? When I talk about what are your plans for death? Do you have a will? Do you have burial insurance? Who's taking over your Facebook and your Instagram after you die? Who's taking over your bank account? Where does your clothes go? Most people don't have an answer, though they are going to die. And I find that very, very interesting. Very interesting. I used to work for a company that had a bunch of thrift shops, and I cannot tell you the truckloads, and I mean truckloads every single week that would pull into the back with boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of shit filled to the brim of people that have died and had no plan for all their furniture, for all their clothes, for all their keepsakes. They didn't have a plan. And I'm talking about weekly. This would happen. Trucks full of shit because people died all kinds of ages, mostly old people. And their children were like, we don't want this shit. We don't know what to do with it. Throw it in the back of a truck, take it to the thrift shop. You guys do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Because no one plans, right? That's why we say plan, plan, plan. And it's little things. Who's taking over your Instagram? Where's your clothes going? What about your furniture? Your money, your fun? Like, you have to plan for this, right? So going back to now, there's a video that's all over the place of Twitch dancing. And everybody's like, ooh, this is his last video, right? Everybody wants to know what was a person's last moments. It's that morbid curiosity, like, but look, he looked so happy. He was dancing. I've even seen ridiculous comments like, it's a conspiracy. Maybe it was foul play, because now celebrities, they can't die. Did you know that? Celebrities cannot die without it being foul play or conspiracy, or the CIA wanted them dead, or the government, or the Fed. You know what I mean? It's like, not everything. If you are a celebrity, you cannot die because it's a conspiracy. I'm even hearing that shit. So we got to clear out the fluff and the smoke and the farts of stupidity, because it seems like social media, these machines are literally melting brains. They're making people, you would think that we're supposed to be progressing. People are regressing. They can't fucking spell. They don't have good grammar. They don't research shit. They don't read shit. They go off of pictures, like children in kindergarten. They go off of captions. They don't read articles. Okay, humans are regressing and they're being conditioned to be dumbed down, right? So now look, it's a dead celebrity, it's a conspiracy. The aliens are coming to get us all, right? So this man chooses to end his life, DJ Twitch, and now it's a conspiracy, maybe foul play, yada yada, right? I say it was his choice, right? And people are like, but he was so happy. His last TikTok video, he was so happy. Let me tell you something about entertainment. I got a little experience because I am an entertainer. Right? You guys know that. I'm an actress. Check out my IMDb. I got 2 movies, one on Amazon, one on the Stars Network. I'm in there. If you look for me, I'm in there, right? Nobody's superstar yet, but I know about entertainment. I know how taxing it is. Even this is entertainment, right? So let me tell you something about entertainers, because people were like, no, but he was so happy. Something must have been awry. Something is wrong. Let me tell you about entertainers. Entertainers, especially when you've been doing it for many, many years, entertainers are on autopilot, right? They're on autopilot, right? It's to the point where it's like when you think about acting, right? I'm an actress. When you think about acting, you're probably thinking, oh my God, I would have to be so focused and concentrating, and the camera's gonna come, and oh my God, my whole world is gonna revolve around my next line. When you've been doing it for many, many years, I can literally be stuffing my face with a fucking sandwich, not even thinking about the script or the next line or whatever, stuffing my face with a sandwich, calling my mom or calling my kid, yeah, what's up? Someone will come in and say, Jen, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes I'm there, and then oh my God, I'm in the scene. Like that. Like that. I'm on autopilot. Artists are on autopilot. Entertainers are on autopilot. DJ Twitch was on autopilot, right? So his body, his mind, everything is used to being a performer and dancing a jig. That's how he made a living. That was Twitch's living, right? That is what he did constantly, all day, every day. That was his persona, his public persona, right? And entertainers are on autopilot. We're on autopilot. It's like, this is what we do all the fucking time. It's no different than you making a sandwich. Are you thinking about making your sandwich? No, there's fucking bread and mayo and ham and cheese, and you throw it together. There's not a lot of thought because you're on autopilot. You've done it a million times before. You have to understand that entertaining is that it comes that naturally. It's like a fucking muscle for us, right? So when you look at DJ Twitch, his last video, his TikTok video, and he's dancing, you can't say, but he was so happy right before he died, right? He's on autopilot. That is what he does. So your body moves, right? Your face and everything, and you're an entertainer. Your mind, though, is not there. Your mind is not there. So when you're looking at his last video, understand he is an entertainer. That is what he did. That is who he was. And you can do it without thinking, right? Also, entertainers, we have to perform after the death of a loved one. We have to perform when we're feeling fucking sick. We have to perform when we have fevers. We have to perform if we're on our period and got cramps, if we're women. We have to perform after an argument with a boyfriend. We have to perform after a fucking argument with a wife. We have to perform when our mothers have made us feel like shit. We have to perform after we heard we weren't going to get fucking paid what we were supposed to get paid. We have to perform after we just had an argument with the makeup. We have to perform, and we have to be on when they yell action. Okay, we have to perform. Now, think about it. Think about it. Imagine having to do your job consistently, suppressing what you really feel, right? You have to suppress all of that, right? Picture this. I want you to come with me. Let's say I have to sell this brush, right? And I am booked. If you're booked, you're booked, right? Yay, money. I'm booked. I'm booked 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to be there. I have to sell you this brush. I got to do an infomercial, right? Now, mind you, the night before, and this is why I've done something for myself. I don't have a lot of conversations with people the day before I have to perform, because there's always a risk of something going left. And I don't like going to work with that, right? Because if you're paying me to be somewhere, I want to give you everything. I want to give you all of me, right? So just imagine tomorrow I have to do an infomercial for this brush. The day before, I get into a huge knockdown, drag out argument with my man or my mother or my kid. Now that shit is weighing on me. It's fucking weighing on me. Next morning, I got to be on set They're paying me. They don't give a fuck who I argued with the day before. They don't care. But I'm on autopilot. It is what I do. I sell shit. So here I am, 8 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, guys. I have to tell you about the new Spin 24 brush. You are going to love this brush, guys. It is fucking amazing, okay? And forget all them other brushes you had. That is what I have to do at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's what the fuck they're paying me for. So entertainers like DJ Twitch, singers, actors, when you are booked, you are booked. You don't get to call them up and say, look, I can't think right now. My husband I can't think. My mother, my grandmother just died. I have to go to her funeral. Time is money, honey. You were booked. We're sorry that happened to you, but time is money. Are you going to be here 8 a.m. or not? Or the job will go to someone else, right? You have to go. So you have to suppress everything that happened. You have to suppress it. And it's a constant with artists. It's a constant with entertainers. We're missing people's birthdays because we're on set for something. We're missing anniversaries. We're missing grandma sick and this was her last day in hospice before she passed away. We're constantly suppressing our feelings in order to perform, in order to entertain. So when you look at a DJ Twitch and his last video 24 hours before his death is like, when you're looking at that, you can't say, well, Twitch was so happy. What happened? Because he is an entertainer. He's a performer. He had a hella huge TikTok following. I guarantee he was monetized. He has about 5 million TikTok followers. So whenever he's doing this, he's getting paid for it. It is his job. So you can't automatically say, well, he was so happy, right? And when you work in a field where you constantly have to suppress what you're really feeling, it wears on you. It wears on you. Some days you don't know your left from your right, and you're like, am I happy today? I can't be. I'm not sad. I'm sad. And you keep telling your brain is trying to say, we're sad right now. We're angry right now. We're depressed right now. Your brain is trying to tell you that. But what you do is push it aside if you're an entertainer and say, fuck what you're feeling. I have to perform and sell this brush because you guys are going to love this brush. I have to sell the brush. So you're constantly pushing those emotions to the back of your head, but you're building a wall, right? You're building a wall and it's on shaky ground, right? And then one day it fucking crumbles. And I guarantee that is what happened to Twitch. When we look at the other people on my thumbnail who took their lives, right? You look at Anthony Bourdain, wealthy. You look at Miss USA, beautiful young woman on top of the world, banging ass condo, okay? On TV, Entertainment Tonight. Naomi Judd, wealthy. Chester Bennington, wealthy. Linkin Park. Who didn't like Linkin Park? Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, he was also, they dropped a film of him, a video of him, 36 hours right before his death. And Chester was laughing with his kids and playing with jelly beans, but he looked so happy with the children. I am telling you, people are normally on autopilot. So let's get into a couple of statistics, right? Because I know this is a big deal when it happens to celebrities. I did a little research. Round about 125 people take their lives in this country every single day. Every single day. Did you hear that? So DJ Twitch was one of 125 people on Monday that took their life. And then on Tuesday, it was another 125. And then today, by midnight, it'll be another 125. Roundabouts, that is the stat. Every 11 minutes, someone is taking their life in this country, right? So, you know, the internet is going to internet, and DJ Twitch, because he was very popular and a lot of people like them, they're going to make, you know, suicide an issue, right? They're going to make it an issue. But it happens all day, every day in this country. And in other countries, it happens a lot more often. Now, let me tell you what else I've heard on social media. Americans are spoiled. It's selfish. Suicide is selfish. He had kids. He had a wife. Why didn't he think about that? You notice people parrot that. It's the most selfish thing you could do is kill yourself. And you got kids that's selfish, selfish, selfish. All over the internet, right? And I keep expressing to you people that before you are a husband, before you are a wife, before you are a mother, you are an entire human being with your own heart, your own mind, your own spirit, your own thoughts, your own happiness, your own sad. You are a whole human being, just you by yourself, without your spouse, without your children, without your mama. But for some reason, people think that when you get married and you have children, there is no longer you. You belong to your spouse and you belong to your children. And by golly, you better remember that. People forget that you are still a human being with your own heart and mind and feelings about shit. Right now, there's some other people that argue it's the most unselfish thing because people that take their lives feel like they're a burden on other people. They feel like they just can't get it right. So they feel like, let me remove myself from the situation permanently. Some of them are in a lot of pain. They're like, I don't want to go. I can't go through another day. I can't go through another day feeling this. It's not always one thing. It's not, it's depression. It's not always one thing. It's a lot of shit. It can be a myriad of things, right? We don't know until we read a suicide note. We don't know until we see that last text message. We don't know. But I think it's selfish. And people like throwing that word around, right? That's the key word. Every time there's a suicide, selfish is the key word, right? I think it's actually selfish to think that someone, because they have children and a spouse, they're not allowed to make their own decisions and think about themselves and how they feel. I think, although it's very fucking controversial, and a couple of people agreed with me, okay? So I'm not the only one that was thinking it. I'm just the one that's saying it out loud. I think that ending your life is a form of pro-choice. Before you had a spouse, before you had children, you are a human being. You were born onto the world. It is your choice whether to live or die. So how is it that when we talk about abortion, we say it's pro-choice, right? Pro-choice, pro-life. If you want to end the life of a baby, that's pro-choice. It's still alive. I understand it's a little gel and it's not running around, it doesn't have feet or toes, and it doesn't mean anything. It's a blob. It's not alive until it's born. Great. Whatever side you stand on, great. However, had you left it alone, it would have been a whole human being, right? We call it pro-choice. So what's the difference between that, right, and someone who's out now and alive, and it's like, all right, I am choosing to end my life. It's my business. You guys are probably going to be fucked up about it, but it's my life, my choice. What do you think about that? What do you think about that when you put it that way? It was his choice. It was Anthony Bourdain's choice. Yes, we miss people when they pass away. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. We miss the laughter, the warmth, the hugs, the time. But can we dictate what other people do with their lives? And some people are like, you know what? I'm done here. It is my choice. Now, the reason why I don't believe in ending your life is because your life's going to end anyway, right? It's like, I understand if we had eternal life, then it's like, oh, fuck, I got to end this eventually. But all of us are going to pass away. All of us. And I hope for you, it's in your bed, old as fuck, and you don't even know you're dying in your sleep. That would be the best case scenario. Okay. A lot of times it's not that way, but that's the best case scenario. We're all going to go. We're all going to go eventually, right? So I'm like, why rush it? With that said, some people are like, no, I'm good here. I did 20, 30, 40 years. Don't really like the place. Don't like how my life turned out. I'm feeling a ways. I can't stop the voices in my head. I'm going to go now. I'm totally good. You guys can have it. I'm going to go see what else is out there. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm out of here, guys. It's been real. I'm out. And that's that person's choice. I don't think that ending your life is always some, oh my God, depression, and I can't, although a lot of times it is. Some people are just like, I'm done here. What the fuck is this about? I don't like humanity. I don't like how people treat each other. I don't know how I'm going to die. I'm nervous. I feel like I'm a burden to this family. So I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. What do you think about that? I think that it's a form of pro-choice, as tragic as it sounds, as tragic as it sounds. People were saying online that, oh, if it was one of my friends online was saying, oh, an African tribe, they asked the African tribe about suicide, and the African tribe laughed and scoffed at it and said, why would we commit suicide if we have animals to eat? And I found that interesting. He was saying that Americans are spoiled, and the African tribe was like, why would we kill ourselves? We have all these animals to eat. Here's the thing about this country. This country is hard as fuck. Okay. If you're not a beast, like I used to say, shit, if you from New York, you could kick ass everywhere. But it's the entire country. You got mortgages and rents, and your kids need shit, and every fucking year they're fucking raising the rent, and then not by a little bit, not like, hey, you have to pay $5 more this year. These motherfuckers like, boom, $300 more every month, boom, 400 more dollars. We have to match the market. Sorry, I know you don't have another extra $300 to pull out your ass, but the market, you understand, don't you, Josh? Right? You got that shit looming over your head. If you get sick, and you ain't got no money, you're gonna fucking die. It's hard in this country. You want an education? I need $50,000. It's hard in this country. So you cannot, and then there's divorce, right? Then there's that. There's so many things that could go wrong for you in this country. It's really not fair to compare it to a tribe somewhere, and their only dilemma is, we got to get a buffalo. Who's getting the buffalo this week? Not going to be me. I got the buffalo last week. It's a little different. So I don't think it's fair to compare this country and why people end their lives to why people don't end their lives somewhere where there's many animals to eat. I don't think it's a fair comparison. It's tough in this bitch. It is hard. It is hard. And if you are a weakling, people will run you the fuck over. In this country, you have to be on beast mode. You have to be on beast mode. Unless you're going to be one of those quiet, docile people that's like, oh, God's going to help me. I'll just be quiet and nobody will notice me. If you want some real significant shit in this country, you better be ready to fucking run people over. Yeah, that's how it is. So, I don't think that's a fair comparison. I don't think it's realistic. People are pressured here with evictions and feeding their children, and it's rough here. It's rough here. And some people, are just like, I'm done. This country is bad for your fucking mental health. It just is. This country is bad for your fucking mental health if you don't stay on top of things. So that's what I have to say about it. I know my take is controversial. I know people are going to be like, no, are you suggesting people end their lives? No, that's not what Jen is suggesting on the Block with Jen. What I am saying is that it is the person's choice. And I don't think it's fair to say they're being selfish, as if you owe your life, right, to the people around you, or even the people that love you. You're still an individual. You are still an individual. With that said, yes, can depression and mental illness lead to taking your life? Absolutely. Should a broken heart can lead you to taking your life. People who have their children taken from them take their lives, right? It's not only depression, it's people who can't take life. Some people don't life well. Some people don't life well. And, there's this misconception that because you have air in your lungs, that's all you need to do life well. Well, you're alive, aren't you? Right? No, some people don't life well. Some people life well, and some people life okay. Shit is hard. It's not easy. Thank you, Lily. Lily said America is ghetto. Shh. It is, America is the fucking ghetto of the world. And it's funny because you hear so much shit about third world countries, but this country, woo, you know, with all the money and opportunity and stuff, like the people that we praise here, the celebrity worship. I mean, to the point where we're only talking about suicide because a celebrity did it. A celebrity did it. So it's like, hey, all eyes on suicide this week, even though about 125 people take their lives every single day in this country, every 11 minutes since I've been talking. Let's see, I've been talking 40 minutes. What is that? One, two, there's about 3 people who just ended their lives as you're sitting here looking at me. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. So, you know, when we look at celebrities who do it, people get so fucking silly. It's like, you know, I told one of my Facebook friends, I'm like, he was like, maybe there's foul play. The man literally, DJ Twitch, went to a motel, rented a room for one night, left his car back home, went to a motel, rented a room for one night, and swallowed a bullet. He was by himself. They asked the people at the motel, did he look strange? Did he say anything? Was anything off? No, just rented the room and went up there and didn't show up, checkout time, opened the door, and he was there. He was there. And that is what happened. Every time a celebrity passes away, it doesn't mean there's a conspiracy or somebody wanted him dead or his masters or somebody wanted his masters. Like, celebrities are regular fucking people. It's just that they have a bigger platform than all of you. But they're regular fucking people. Their shit stinks. But for some reason, people think that their shit doesn't stink. So when one of them does something that's human, because they are human, they're clutching their pearls and dropping their Hennessy cups on the floor. A celebrity ended his life? No way. Must be foul play. Like, I'm telling you, social media is melting brains every day. That's what he wanted to do. That is what he did. His last video has nothing to do with squat. If you're just tuning in, please watch what I said at the beginning about entertainers and how we are on autopilot. And no matter how bad we're feeling about any fucking thing, I'm sure Lily can vouch, no matter how bad we're feeling about any fucking thing, when you are booked, you are booked. And you have to show up and do that job. And you better do it with a fucking smile on your face, because that's what you're getting paid for. No one cares that someone took your kids from you the other day. No one cares what your wife or husband is doing. No one cares that your grandma just passed away. No one cares that you got cramps or a headache. No one cares. No one cares. So when people are talking about these videos, but Twitch was so happy on his last dance video. He's on autopilot. That is what entertainers do. Most of the comedians I know are some of the darkest people I've ever met. I kid you not. And I know a lot of comedians. I have comedians who are really close friends of mine. They are really dark people when you talk to them. But let somebody yell action to that comedian, and he's gonna light up the fucking room. So why people think that celebrities don't go through fucking, I don't know what it is. Like, the celebrity worship and the fucking delusions people have about celebrities is fucking crazy. Like, y'all need more celebrity friends. That's what it is. Y'all need more celebrity friends. You know, and I got heat for my topic. I got heat for the caption. Oh, how are you talking about suicide is not pro-choice? It is, though. It is, though. If you can talk about ending the life of an embryo, because some people don't like saying child, but it would have been a child had you left it alone. If you're going to say that's pro-choice, then how is an adult that's already out, how is that not their choice? Trigger warning for people that are just tuning in, right? Again, the number, the suicide hotline is now 988. It is no longer a 1-800 number. The number is 988 if you are feeling away. I'm going to have a lot of opinions on the panel. I'm sure I don't want you triggered by anything. A lot of people feel a lot of different ways about death and about people ending their lives. So please, I don't want you triggered. I don't want you any more upset than you are. The number again is 988. Understand that some people do think it's selfish to end your life. If you have children or a wife, I think differently, but I can't force people to think the way I think. Okay. So I don't want you triggered by anything anybody says tonight. Okay. Lily says the world doesn't allow me to not smile. Thank God I figured out how to do life well because, oh my God, I get it. Absolutely. And let me tell you, it's a daily fight. It's a day-to-day thing. It's a day-to-day thing. Some people, when they lay their head on their pillow, if they have a pillow to lay on, they just happy they made it through that day. They just happy they made it through that day. It's not easy. No saint has a face.
I'm practicing for the new year.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And our mystery man, Haran, still behind the veil.
Y'all already making me look bad. Thanks a lot, white man.
That's what you get. Isn't it better with faces? Faces make me happy.
It is.
I don't know. I'll look in the chat and see what comments I'm getting, but
I'm happy, okay? I'm happy. Thank you for coming up. Let me read this super chat before I continue. Let's not leave money on the table, people. Chef Shapino, thank you for the super chat. He says farts of stupidity. Yes, that's what I said. That is what people do online. Like, we have to clear out the farts of stupidity so we can get to the story. I mean, the things they're saying about DJ Twitch, like, every week shit gets more and more stupid. People are saying there's foul play, but look, it wasn't suicide because he looked so happy 24 hours before. I'm
yeah.
like, please be quiet. Like, I feel like Joe Budden, shut the fuck up. Just stop typing. Stop typing.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. In general, people who have made the decision to commit suicide feel a relief. So they do look happy because they've made a decision that's been weighing on them for a long time. And all that stress and pain is released because they know it's going to be over. And that's why you'll find them giving away stuff as well. Like, hey, you want they know they're not going to, and they just feel free. They feel free,
Damn, I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. Because it's like, fuck, I found a solution.
Yeah, they made the decision. If something is normally not something that's done on a whim, it's normally something that's been thought out for a long time.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, it's facts. So yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Pro-choice. I believe it's pro-choice. I also believe that it can be selfish as well. For me, it just really depends. Like, I mean, listen, if your kids are grown, and they're on that, but if you're in the middle of raising your kids, it is kind of a selfish decision.
You think it's selfish?
Yeah, it is selfish.
Okay.
In that sense, in the sense of if you have people that, you brought into the world and they're relying on you, and you're the main, you're what's keeping them afloat. Yeah, it's kind of a selfish decision, but I'm not saying listen, some people are not making it rationally.
Right.
It's a different thing too. If it's a mental thing, if people like depression is a mental thing. And if you can get help, that should be the first line of defense. I'm always surprised when it is an old. You just don't think of an older person doing it, and yet a lot of older people do it.
Yep.
And the older I get, the more I kind of understand it. I'm not a suicidal. I don't, I'm not planning on taking my life. But there's sometimes where I'm like, eh, you know, like in other words, I joke around, but it's really the truth. Like when people talk about, oh, the United, whatever country, but let's say the United States, people who are prepping and things like that and trying to say, I'm like, hell no, I am finding the first bridge and jumping, dude. I don't want to live like they lived 300 years ago. It's too much work. I'm done.
And the crazy thing is that I think we've all thought about it. We've all thought about it. It's like when I tell people, have you ever thought about being gay? And they're like, no, I didn't. I was like, the reason why you're saying no is because you thought about it. Because you thought about it. Right? So technically you thought about it. And I think that, the suicide thing, I think we've all thought about it. I think we've all been so down, so low that you're kind of like, gosh, if I wasn't here anymore, I wouldn't have to worry about any of this. This would be really cool if I could just end it, like just turn the fucking lights off. I just want to turn the lights off and never turn them back on. So it's something, that we've all thought about. And going back to what you said, it's planning. I mean, this man woke up that morning, DJ Twitch specifically, he woke up, left his car there, okay, didn't drive his car to the motel, didn't go far. He said it was just a couple miles to the motel. He probably walked it. Went and rented the room for one night, and that was it. That's planning. That took some planning.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
well, and let me add that being in the line of work I'm in, what you'll find is it's crazy. Not crazy in a negative sense. It's just like, oh my God, that is interesting. What process people will put their head into a plastic bag, shoot themselves in the head, so the people won't have to clean up after them. They're thinking about the people coming in, and they don't want a mess.
Dang.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, wow, it's kind of sad and fascinating in some sense, But yeah, morbid curiosity is definitely a thing.
Absolutely. I mean, even with DJ Twitch, I'm sure he thought about that. I don't want my wife and kids to come in here. Fucking motel.
That's what I thought when you said that. I was like, yeah, he doesn't want to do it, where his wife and kids will walk in on him and find them. He'd rather, put it on the hotel maid or whatever. But
so I agree with, since we're on the word selfish, and I'll pass the mic to Haran. But I agree with Terrence Tab. He says selfish would have been taking them out and then himself. I think that would have been selfish.
Well, that would be the ultimate selfish. But I think both can be selfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haran, what you got?
I actually think that taking your own life is the only pure choice you have in this world. It's pretty much the only choice you have in this world that you don't have to stick around and wait for a consequence to pay for. It's yours. Every choice you make in this life, you have to deal with the consequences, or you have to think about other people and so on and so forth. You didn't even choose to be here. You know what I mean? So if you choose to go, whenever time you choose to go, that's really your choice. That's really like the only pure choice that you have. You know what I mean? Now everybody else has to deal with that choice, But the word selfish being tossed around and so on and so forth, to No Saint's point, unless there's little kids involved, everybody else shut the fuck up. Like everybody else, you'll be okay. You probably didn't like me that much anyway, and I probably really didn't like you. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when things like this happen, the irony of it is that people just show just how selfish they are. They need to insert themselves into the situation, and I wouldn't have done this, and I wouldn't have done that, and oh, what about this and what about that, and when, I mean, how much is the funeral going to cost? Who asked you? No one really asked you anything. Did you even know who this guy was before he even became a national, subject line? Like, seriously, were you really watching Ellen like that? Were you really an Ellen viewer?
A lot of
You
people
know what I
on
mean?
Facebook didn't know who he was.
Of course not, because you don't watch this shit. He's social media fodder. He's a guppy for the machine right now. Throw it in there, and then people can have their conversations and so on and so forth. But I want to talk about a minute about your monologue, Jen. And it was very true. It was very powerful. As someone who works in the entertainment industry and has friends who works in the entertainment industry, you're absolutely correct. Your emotions aren't yours anymore. That is the sacrifice of working in the entertainment industry. Like, for instance, people, what's the main thing when people say, like, oh, I saw Beyonce at blah, 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 I saw such and such at the airport. The main thing that they always harp on is whether or not the person was a dickhead.
Yes. And I always know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, she wasn't even nice to me. I was like, because she is not the performance.
Exactly.
Performance.
Exactly. But they have some people who it's literally like you say, when they see a fan, that like they hear the word action and they immediately just turn into the character. Like they could have literally have just come back from, just finding out their mom got cancer, taking a shit, all kinds of things. All kinds of human stuff, and it's like, oh, here's a fan, and you're all of a sudden, you got to become Krusty the Clown for the next fucking 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, this fucking fan will go on Twitter and so on and so forth. And said that you're an asshole, and then it's a boycott Beyonce, and then it hurts your ticket sales. The next go around.
It's not like working at the
shit
DMV.
like that happen.
Like you could work at the DMV with an attitude because you just had an argument with your husband. Next, I told you bring your ID. You can do that. You work at the DMV.
Exactly. Well, and you know what? I think the reason why you can do that at the DMV because everyone hates being there. We're all in a shitty fucking mood. So if you're actually in a happy mood in the DMV, we'll actually not like you. Like, why are you happy? This is the DMV. Like, how dare you?
Every time somebody's at the DMV, I'm like, they must be high.
But again, though, I commend you because I've seen you do it. Like a minute we'd have a conversation about something, and then I'll turn on the live and you're fucking hollering, and I'm just like, yo, she's fucking yelling right now. And she's just like yelling, and her hands are all over the place. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I get it. I know what it is. It's a mechanism. There's been times when, yeah, I just got into an argument with my girl, something serious just happened, so on and so forth. All right, we're up in 5 minutes, and I got this guitar in my hand. It's like, okay, time to go. You know what I mean? Time to go and basically lock into this shit and do what needs to be done. And basically act like I just didn't receive the worst news of my life. So right. For some people, you can't take a quote unquote mental health day. And you know what? For some entertainers, they feel that at the end of the day, they feel like their emotions, they feel like they don't even own their emotions anymore. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times taking their own life is the only way they know how to regain ownership of their emotions, ownership of their life, to say that, you know what, I don't feel like I'm in control anymore, but I have this. I can get out. I have this one card I can play. I'm going to play it.
I remember when he said that working a talk show, I did see an interview of him where he said working a talk show is no joke because it's every single day. So he has to be out there. And it's funny because I never really liked his shtick. I didn't really like his little Ellen shtick.
No.
I didn't like it. I wasn't into
it. It was kind of coonish. It was kind of coonish.
I like the whole, I'm going to give it
the dancing Negro organ grinder shit. Yeah, I wasn't really digging it either.
I wasn't digging it. But it was what it was. But then, I did see an interview and he said that doing a talk show every single day is hell. basically. It's like every single day. And he's not just like doing a talk show behind the camera where he could just wear his dirty t-shirt and a baseball cap. He's on. You know what I'm saying? He's dancing a jig and coming down the stairs every single day. And you know, Ellen was high energy. This comment here, Era Black TV says it was considered pro-choice in the Dr. Kevorkian era, but of course the government stopped it. They want their slaves alive. That's right. I remember Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah, Dr. Death, man. I was just about to bring him up. Like, yeah. And because, like, look, you got to look at it like this. I'm not going to tell anybody who's dying from, like, stage 4 cancer, well, you know, you really shouldn't think about, you know what I mean, taking your life. Like, come on. Are you serious?
That's so fast.
It's literally like just fast forwarding to the end of the movie. We know what's going to happen. Let's just hurry this up, get to it, and let everybody get the fuck out of the theater. You know what I mean?
So they're suffering.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, me personally, I want there to be a limit on this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know, people talk about, you know what I mean? And I'm not, you know, ragging on old age. You know, growing old is a great thing, but I don't want to be 90 years old. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be like 100. No, what the fuck for? Like, why? Like,
you don't
what
want to
happened? Nah, man. It's like after a while, it's like no. I don't like you people that much. Like, come on, like this is enough already. You know what I mean? Like 90 or 100. You know what I mean? It's like, So I'm glad that there's a limit to this shit, man. And plus, at 90 or 100 years old, like, what are you doing? Like, where do you fit in life? Like, 95% of everyone you know or have seen before is dead at that age, man. Like, you're literally living in a world that you're a fish out of water in.
So Curls and Cupcake says, that was selfish to ruin the holidays for his children.
What do we think of the children? What about the children?
Not Christmas.
I mean, yeah, you know, you're always around something. It was right before the summer holidays. It was right before Easter. It was right before Mardi Gras. It was right before...
it was right before Boxing Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Today was National Secretary's Day. It was right before National Secretary's Day. Arab Black TV says we all have the right to our own life and death in our own hands. If someone is trying or thinking about killing someone else, it's probably best they take their own. I agree with that 100% If you are feeling homicidal, get to the bridge instead. Get to the bridge.
You know what though? I got one thing that a friend of mine told me about a friend of his, man. He took his own life after he got divorced. After he got divorced, and this is common with a lot of guys. You know what I mean? I learned that. And he took his own life after he got divorced. And one of the reasons why is because he was financially ruined after that. He ended up back on his mother's couch.
Yeah, that could put you in a place. That could put you in a place.
You're like, yeah, I can't even imagine when you're like 50-something years old and you're back on your mama's couch. That's gotta hit hard, man. Like, look, I'm one of the most resilient motherfuckers you could ever meet in your life. Like, I'm rocking to the core. We're gonna do this. Even I might be like, oh, this is some heavy shit right here. This is some debilitating shit.
And I mean, we don't know what his life would have looked like. He might have come out the other side, but when you're in it like that, yeah,
I can't even imagine, man.
Yeah, I can understand.
I mean, your whole life was. I'm assuming the way the story was told to me. His whole life was his wife and his kids, man.
Yeah,
and his freaking job, and to have that, and it's like 1 minute you're bouncing your kid on your knee, next minute it's like boom, you're staring at the ceiling on your mom's couch, and she's giving you a curfew or some shit like that, or don't touch my milk, or you're putting your name on the orange juice. That's just so horrible.
I'm not cleaning no dishes after you.
Exactly. It's a horrible feeling, man.
So this is interesting. Arab Black TV said people need something to live for that they consider bigger than themselves. People need a love in their life and family. But Twitch had both. He had 3 beautiful children, had the wife, beautiful home.
Yeah.
There's something there deeper.
Well, it's hard for someone who doesn't, and I don't know what his deal is. And some people, like, I just want to put that there are some people like Haran was saying that, stage 4 cancer, the pain's too much, I'm out. There are some people who are of sound mind, but I know people that are severely depressed, and it's hard for me to understand how deep that goes, but I can only say because of what I've suffered from. I've suffered from anxiety, and before I had anxiety, I didn't know what a nervous breakdown was. I thought it was a term, like, oh, they're having a nervous breakdown. I had a nervous breakdown. And it's something you don't control. And unless you've had that, I can't explain to you what it's like, right? And it's the same thing with people who are that depressed. Everybody's been depressed or down, had the blues or whatever. But the severe depression where they are making plans and they are thinking everything's going to be better once they're gone. They're not thinking how people are going to cry and miss them. They're thinking they'll be fine. And it's really, I mean, it's people who suffer from severe depression. It's not just like something, be a man or get strong. You need to fight. It's not like that at all. It is a real thing. And I've never had it. I just know people close to me that have it. And they've told me, like, and, maybe one day I'll find, maybe one day I'll find out that it happened, because they're constantly battling it. They're constantly there's good days.
Oh, it's listen, trust me, it is severe. Like, you can't get out of bed, you can't brush your teeth, it is bad.
And let me say something to that. It's not just like I'm sad, it's like tiresome. They are fighting to find, I mean, it wears you down from what it's explained to me. It's something that is, we all talk about, oh, they're sad, they want to, it's actually like, I'm tired of living, I'm tired of fighting this, I'm tired of feeling this way. It's very, it wears, so
Cubs, Curls and Cupcakes is coming for DJ Twitch. She said, I think it's a she, said, very selfish. Those babies will be scarred and they're going to need therapy unless the adults protect their innocence and not share the full details. Again, I don't have the popular opinion, I know, but before he had those children, he's a whole person. Like, he was his own person before those children. I understand you have children, you have to be there for your children, but he's a whole person before the children, before the wife. And again, I'm speculating. I don't know why that man took his life. I don't know if it was depression. I don't know if it was he wasn't happy with, like, his circumstances. I don't know the situation between him and his wife. Who knows what was going on between them? I don't know. I don't know if he wasn't getting the work he wanted. Ellen, the Ellen show ended and he was no longer working every single day. So that could have been a factor, right? At least the Ellen show, he was looking forward to doing that every single day. He felt committed to that. He felt, and then that ended. Maybe that affected him as well. We don't know.
That is one of the possibilities I pondered over. Like, okay, the Ellen show isn't popping anymore. I don't know what else he can do, but ain't too many spots for dancing Negroes on, television right now. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess he can be a dancing for the stars judge or whatever it is. I don't fucking know. But what I'm saying is that I don't know his skill set. It seemed to be rooted in dance. Dance itself is some hard shit to come by.
He did say he was a fake DJ. He wasn't really a DJ. He said that. He said
exactly so.
He was a DJ, but he was like, he didn't know how to DJ. He wasn't a DJ at all. He was a dancer.
Okay, well, all right. So, so it's starting to be the possibility might be maybe an uncertainty because you also have to look at it like this. Black Monday, many eons ago, for all you youngsters out there.
I know Black Monday.
after they discovered America, and they invented electricity. We had this thing called Black Monday in the Dark Ages, and essentially the stock market crashed. I mean, crashed, miserably crashed, and there were brokers who were taking their own lives that day. Because you have to understand, there was this period of extreme excess and winning and opulence that many of these people were experiencing, and the high of that, and to have to basically experience so much uncertainty after that. Some guys didn't even want to stick around for that. They said, "Yo, I'm out of here, man." And they ended their lives quite violently. They just jumped off the fucking roof of a fucking skyscraper. I mean,
well, that's how Miss USA did it.
For people like that,
jumped off the balcony.
Who jump off of balconies, for people like that, I say to myself, like, I hope they succeed, because it's just like,
yeah.
Imagine coming back from that. It's like people have come back from that. People have come back from that, and and self-inflicted wounds. I don't want to get too morbid, but it's those are one of the things where it's just like, these things are a very touchy situation. But anyway, overall,
I like what Necessary Evil said. Truth is, when your depression is that severe, the only cure is death. Seems like death, right? Because the pills aren't working, the pep talks aren't working, right? And you're like, I want to end this. She also says, I don't adhere to the notion that it's a selfish act. I feel it's a desperate option to not feel the weight of their depression. And I think that's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to ruin Christmas for the kids.
Right.
They're thinking, I have to end this. What do you think about this? Because I find this very, very interesting. I like the idea of this a lot. Curls and Cupcake says, there should be a place that people go to die peacefully and painlessly. People are suffering and deserve to be at peace. What do you think? Do you think that 50 years into our future, there will be like,
no, hell the fuck no.
No?
Hell the fuck no. Those people are prime bait for Big Pharma. Are you out of your mind?
But
Imagine
if
keep okay, all right, I'll play along. I'll bite.
In my Rod Serling voice.
Exactly. I'll bite.
Imagine, if you will, a place, a facility like a hospital, like a hospice, where you go any age, you're like, I want to end my life. I think it would be full. It would be full.
And that is exactly why that should have never happened. That's exactly why that shit has never happened. Look, listen, we are, at the end of the day, in the eyes of the elite, we are glorified batteries. That's all we are.
Wow.
We're glorified fucking batteries, and to lose probably the workforce, 60 to 80% of the fucking workforce, probably, to fucking to morality, to dignity, to humanity. They would never ever allow some shit like that to happen. And plus, any age you can do that, they'll never fucking allow that shit. They don't even want old people to die. They squeeze every bit of juice out of those old motherfuckers as much as they fucking can. I swear to fucking God, yes they do. That's why the life expectancy now is like 105. You know what I mean? Because they want every drop out of you.
Well, I think 50 years in the future, I mean, it's already kind of easier than ever to do it. I mean, if you really thought it out, people are selling this fentanyl that is killing people. And it's I hate to say it, it's kind of painless. because you just
because
stop
it kills you
breathing.
immediately. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like literally like hitting a stopwatch.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? You don't go through the agonizing death scene in Shakespeare or any of that stupid shit. It's just like you take a whiff of that shit, and it's like boom, you're out
No,
of here.
and it's such a small. You can just like there's police officers that are, they have the Narcan now and
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, especially
Mm-hmm.
police because they're running into this fentanyl.
I just saw
And
a video today of a female officer that
yeah,
died with the
oh, who
fentanyl.
died, huh?
No, almost died. Like
Oh
she
yeah,
was
almost
fine,
died.
and they
Yeah, it takes so little of it, and it gets
Mm-hmm.
on their skin, and then they stop breathing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it,
No,
man.
seriously.
Yeah.
Jen, I had to explain to someone the other day what being an artist is. And I said to them, well, imagine if you will, your job is essentially to create this world, whatever world it is. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, whatever world that you're creating, if it speaks to people on some level or so on and so forth, you're using your own traumas, you're using your own joys and so on and so forth, or whatever, to as fuel for this world that you were building. And I told them, I'm like, you have to understand something. A lot of times you have to revisit those traumas, those things that you probably spent a shitload of money on to at least suppress, not even suppress, but to manage. Now you got to rip the band-aid off. And you got to jump in the pool. And you got to feel it. And you got to let it immerse all over you because you need those emotions. You need to revisit back there. You need to know what it feels like and remember. So you're ripping off the band-aid. You're getting out of the pool. You're drenched in your own fucking darkness. You go create this art and you do it. It's awesome. It's amazing. So on and so forth. And you bring it and before you actually sell this, now you got to clean up yourself. Okay, now you gotta sew up all the wounds again. You gotta go be a normal fucking person as you go out there and sell this piece of thing that has that's dripping with your traumas and your joys and shit like that. And then you sit down with the financier and they said, it's not what we're looking for. And now you gotta go back.
Thank you.
And now you gotta go back and do the shit again. Sorry. What?
It's okay. Thank you for the super chat. Necessary Evil, the generous super chat. My lady's representing. She said, I lost my younger brother to mental illness. On the outside, he has a perfect life with kids. I later found out our mother hid her battle with mental illness. Her upbringing was to hide it. If only it was safe to talk. That's another thing. That's why, again, let me repeat. The hotline is 988. If you are watching me and you are feeling a ways, dial 988. They will help you. It is hard to talk about because one, people are embarrassed. They want people to think they have everything under control, especially if they have a family. So they're embarrassed by it. Two, they don't want to be treated like they're retarded, right? They don't want to be treated like they're retarded.
Helpless.
Right. And there are people who just take a shower, like wake up, like be happy, like just get up, go exercise. They really think that it's just like, no, Saint said, you're just sad right now. You need a cupcake. You want me to make you a cupcake? That'll make you feel better. And it's deeper than that. It's like a freaking like having weights on your back all the fucking time. It's like I can't get out. So I understand people they don't want to talk about it. What's up, Simon Hectic? How are you?
What's up, Jen?
How are you?
What's up, panel? What's
Hey.
going on?
What's up?
Salute, peace. What's up? The guy that just spoke, I mean, like about being an artist myself. I mean, I think in this day and age, we have the benefit of, previous artists before us, like that we've seen long gone. Obviously, they've sold their, pieces, whether it be sort of music or media or visual content or whatever it is. So we have a choice. Like, so we are in a kind of different position, I guess. Like, take a Van Gogh who sort of chopped his ear off. He didn't have a choice. So like, way later in his life, people are now sort of picking up his pictures at auctions and going, okay, and he has no sort of looking on that, where it's selling for like millions of dollars and stuff, where we can turn around and potentially be a bit like more creative and understand what our value is, and maybe put that into perspective. Might not necessarily work out for most people, because obviously it's a business and we're living in a capitalistic society, which is kind of different. But I think we do have that choice. We do have the option of being strategic and understanding how we can lay out our foundation as artists, if you choose to be an artist. So yeah, that's why I wanted to say in the first instance.
I want to this comment here. Don Levon said, I think it's important, although some may think it's crazy to ask. I think it's important. He says, I always ask the women I date, what antidepressant meds are you on, if any? He said 1 in 4 women are on some sort of antidepressants. And this is why this is important. I went on a date with a guy, ex-military, we start getting to know each other. I'm doing this, blah, blah. I've done this. This is my life. He starts telling me about his life in the military. And now he's out of the military and he was on a bunch of meds. And I was like, thank you. No, I am not going to be the enemy at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want you to have a fucking flashback and shoot up. No, thank you. But and he's still a Facebook friend. He's still a Facebook friend. So hey, if you're out there, you know who you are. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I was
that's total truth, because it's like you got to think about like the date is the first step, right? So if you're actually going to get into a relationship and then sort of start actually being with a person, if they're on meds when you're dating, what's that going to look like 10, 20 years down the line? I mean, that's a real problem.
And plus, I can work a nerve. I can really work a nerve. So let's say it's bad for everybody.
No.
Jen will wake up and that guy would be like, take that burqa off.
Exactly. And I'd be like, what is a hat? What are you talking about?
His only word's going to be like, toast. Toast. Toast.
No. I said, but that's what happens when you go on dates and it's not just coffee.
Yeah. So to Don Levon's point, there are 17.7% women, 18.4% men on antidepressants, and that's 2018. So it could be more now, but
after the pandemic, I know it's more.
Yeah. But it's funny you say that, because I don't know what conversation you had with this guy, if he told you he had PTSD or he might have told you that, which in case you might have flashbacks.
Listen, he was like, but I'm good. I'm on medications. But I was like, I can work a nerve. Listen, so everybody's safe. Let's just be friends.
Let's see what's next on the menu.
Exactly. I'll have the appetizer, and and then we can go. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy. I just didn't want him to flip out, and I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, if someone needs to be managed, they need to be managed. Like I sort of like putting off on a date and someone sitting around and saying, look, I've got all these sort of things that I need to do. If I can't like lean up towards that, I mean, that's just being real. Do you get what I mean? So, kudos to the guy. I'm not saying that. Shout out to the military, and people do have their issues. And the fact that he's actually up front of you is graceful for you to say, look, yo, I ain't that person.
You were saying that, I was thinking to myself, Jen just taught him a lesson: never bring up his PTSD again.
Bring it up, because you need to.
No, I'm saying
in this day and age, like, for real.
I'm just saying, she didn't go out on another date with him. He's thinking, okay, that's not.
No, and funny thing, he's still single, and this was years ago.
Yeah.
How shocking! He's still single. How shocking!
I wish a woman would though, because like most women don't. I'll literally date, a girl out, or and you get to her house and you go into the bathroom and then you see all this stuff. So it's like it works in vice versa at the same time, and just people are people. We if it ain't for you, ain't for you, innit? Like, you want a cupcake, you want a cupcake. It's just like, I prefer just to have some candy floss and keep things moving.
Well, this year it's true. I know there are a lot. I know the suicide rate for teenagers went up.
Yeah.
In the past 10 years. Chuckin' and Jiving TV says social media brought a lot of depression with women seeing people live fake lives online and wanted to be them. When I was judging a pageant recently of some young girls, they all talked about social media, like all of them, every contestant, right? I mean, it's something I did when I was recruiting the people for the resiliency course as well. I was asking, how do you feel about social media? Does it affect society or no? And they all had a story about how horrible it is. So it's interesting how much this is affecting people. That's why I think that social media should be a conversation in relationships, in marriage, in dating, with your children. Like, it is such a big part of everybody's life that it's stupid. Remember back in the day when we were like, it's not that serious, it's only Facebook. It's not that serious. It's serious.
You're so right. I mean, it should definitely be part of the curriculum.
Absolutely. And you have to talk about boundaries. What are your boundaries on social media? Because I'm gonna throw hearts on everybody with an ass. Like, is that okay with you? Like, you have to talk about social media. You must.
Yeah. I used to be on the side of, well, they told us growing up that TV was going to ruin everybody. But I've changed my opinion in this sense that definitely, and from the statistics that you're talking about, it's very important, especially for girls. I don't have any girls, but girls are really on the front lines when it, of self-esteem, especially at that age when everybody is getting rated. And, listen, I know it. I'm a guy. I know it. And for guys, like we talk about what's the app? The dating app or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tinder. You go on Tinder and you're not a great looking guy, you might not get selected at all. So, I mean, it kind of sucks. You know what I mean? So, yeah, social media is definitely had an effect. And hopefully, I don't know. I'm with you as far as Facebook goes. It's like it's become less and less important for me to even look at because everybody's just spewing nonsense half the time anyway. But yeah, for daughters, for women, for young women, it's an I don't want to say it's an epidemic, but it has affected them negatively. When it comes, now it's not just a magazine, it's everybody everybody looks good on Instagram. That's
everybody.
Yeah.
That filter is no joke. Thank you for the super chat, Don LeBon. The generous super chat on a Wednesday night. Here you go for the collection plate. I will take it, sir. This is interesting. Don LeBon says social media affects men too, just not as much. Men commit suicide at a very high rate, trying to keep up with the chads. Is that the reason for male suicide, keeping up with the Joneses? What's up, Glenn Lawrence? You right on time.
What's going on? I heard we're talking about killing people or people killing themselves.
Yes. Is ending your life a form of pro-choice?
Good topic. Good topic. Because I could go either way. Like, honestly, I really don't care what you do to your life. As long as your life doesn't affect my life. Like, don't fuck up my world. You can fuck up your world. Just don't fuck up mine. But the other side is like, it's sad, like, right? Like, why does somebody get to the point where they feel the need to end their life? And why do we look down on it? Like, why do we criticize them for doing it? Like, oh, they're weak. You don't know what they're going through.
Yeah, bro. Pro-choice is about sort of like, someone potentially sort of having some sort of illness that, the health services can't cure. So what happens is like, they may sort of roll into hospital and get left on a bed or something like that for like years or something. Like, so then it's like, you know, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this drip or whatever, or I've had enough of this medication or whatever. And I just wanna have it, you know, be done with it. That's what pro-choice is about. So it's not really about fucking with your life, which is kind of interesting. But you know, it's not fucking with anybody's life. It's really about someone just going, look, for example, if I had MS today, right?
Yep.
And it was really messing with me, and no one could take care of me, I could turn around and go, look, I just want to like delete myself. But you know, by law, they may go, okay, you can't do that, or you know, your family can't choose to do that. Or I might turn around to a sibling and go, look, just delete me. Do you get what I mean? That's what pro-choice is all about. Stephen Hawkins, give a shout out, salute.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I mean, Glenn didn't say it was affecting his life. He said, long as whatever someone else does doesn't affect his life. You know, men do lead in suicide. Men do lead in suicide. So DJ Twitch is right on, you know, right on par with the statistics. Men do lead in suicide. So they're going through a lot and they're more violent about it. They also choose more violent ways to end their lives, which is interesting. DJ Twitch chose a bullet. It's pretty violent, but it's permanent. There's no saving that. So he wanted to make sure.
Can we talk about that real quick though? Like
Yeah.
that part? Like, okay, so listen, like men and women commit suicide. All right. And yes, men commit suicide. I think it's 3.5 to 5 times greater than women do. All right. I've talked about this a lot. And one of the key things that people don't really want to like factor in when it comes to divorce, like, or to suicide, a lot of it has to do with the breakdown of the family. You know, like, or they lost their career, and you know, so there's some, you know, things that play a role into it that has nothing to do with mental health disorders. You know, like, but when we talk about male suicide, it's like it's only looked at as like, oh, they have a mental health disorder. This person has a mental health disorder. Like, so it's like, is it really? Can we just are we doing it justice by making a blanket statement and calling it mental health disorder when there could be so many other factors that contribute that we don't necessarily as a society want to bring up, you know?
I don't like it. I don't like just assuming, oh, it's mental health. That's why I said in the beginning, there's so many someone could lose their job and be like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to live. I'm not going to be struggling. I'm not going to be living through this. I don't know what to do. This bitch won't let me see my kids. My mother's riding me. It's not just it's mental illness. We just don't know. We don't know.
But we so, you know what I think it is, and this is probably gonna piss people off, is like, I think, you know, we have too many feminine ass men. All right, do you guys know the average male testosterone? No, there's too many bitches. There's a lot of bitches running around with penises. Okay, I'm telling you, there are. All right,
I've always ate my spinach.
Like the population, the male testosterone population has been dropping 1% every year. Like, so as guys are aging, young guys, their testosterone levels are dropping at a dramatic rate. That's why you got guys that are in their 30s or late 30s and early 40s that have more testosterone that seem like more like man than like these 20-year-old bitch boys that are running around.
Wait, what age? So when I start dating again?
Around 30, like to end the 30s, like 40s and 50s, like those guys, like, you know,
okay.
our age, Jen,
yeah, basically,
you know?
our age.
Yeah, I mean, you're way off though, bro. I mean, like, there's like 12.2 million adults seriously thought about suicide. 3.2 million adults made a plan. 1.2 adults attempted suicide. Like, in terms of males, okay. So, in comparison to what's actually going on and what you're talking about, it doesn't sort of weigh up to an extent. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and it's not about sort of like these, you know, male. I don't even know what's
metrosexuals.
I don't know what's, but it's like, I'm just saying, it's like you get a demographic of men that are plus 50 that do not have the options that women have. So what ends up happening is they end up in some, unless they're high value or they've had some sort of stack or something, or they thought about it, they end up in some sort of destitute sort of situation where they may be in some sort of, HBO or something, house of multiple occupancy, and living amongst men and just shacking up on some sort of shelf like they're on the tube or something for the rest of their life, and they get really disenfranchised. So then they start considering suicide because it's like, what's going on?
Well, I think I want to say something. I think and I was thinking about this when Haran was talking about it. There is a difference. Some people, we got to differentiate. There is a difference. Some people have mental problems that are serious and lead them to suicide. And when Haran was talking about Black Monday and people jumping off buildings, that is a panic. And that is something that you should not say is a good choice, because that kind of stuff can pass over. The people who jumped off the building, in all likelihood, would have recovered. In fact, the stock market did recover. So, I mean, so I know what you're saying too, Glenn, about there are differences. But the testosterone thing I want to talk about is we don't know exactly why that has happened. That could be chemicals in the food. That could be no. It's not just like
social media is doing.
No. We do know. Like a lot of the things. A lot of the stuff that we have, like in our body washes, a lot of that stuff has soy in it. All right, so
there's a lot of
soy consumption. There's a lot of
there's a lot of soy. Soy affects your estrogen levels.
Even if you rub it on your body, you could rub it on your body in your body wash, and you're still getting some soy. So think about how much soy we're getting. It does play a role.
I'm not gonna argue with. I mean, I wouldn't argue anyway. I'm not gonna dispute what you're saying. That could be part of it.
There's some perfume smelling ass body washes for men out there. You know what I mean? So all these things contain things that basically soften you up. You know what I mean? And it affects your testosterone. That's number one. Number two, a lot of the diets that are being taken on by men do not consume that much protein. There's not a lot of protein in your diet, and protein essentially affects your muscles, you know what I mean? And your muscles, if your muscles, are not receiving a degree of protein that they should, you start atrophying. And if your muscles start atrophying, then your testosterone levels are affected. Number three, a lot of men don't fucking lift. They don't do strenuous work anymore. They don't build. You know what I mean? Men from our age prior to Jen and our era, these guys were fucking huge. They were bulls. They were pulling fucking engines out of cars and untwisting cars, with their bare hands. Come on, let's be real with each other, because it was about strenuous blue collar work. There was a reason for your testosterone to raise. Now they got men who want to talk about their feelings, who want to be dragged to therapy, who want to be dragged to therapy, who want to sit there and they want to listen to someone's problems.
No,
they want to concentrate.
That's one of the biggest
They want to concentrate on EQ. You want to concentrate on EQ and shit like that. And now we have this problem.
No, it's true. It's true.
Where's Big Truck at?
It's true. Like we are literally, we have.
I know.
We have a society as feminized men by like shit that we do. We have made life so fucking convenient.
It is convenient.
We have such a convenient life. Like I don't even got to get up to go cook anything. I could get on this stupid app, order some food, and have it at my door in like 20 minutes.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it also is troublesome.
I don't know if
it didn't stop you from working out, though. You still go work out.
It made sure I could get to the gym.
It's more privileged.
It's convenience. Convenience is privilege.
But guess what? Everybody on this platform and everybody on YouTube is living a much easier life than 100 years ago, than 200 years ago, and definitely than 300 years ago. Well, I guess.
And that is
I tell you what, I wouldn't want to live 300 years ago. I would not want to.
No, but like what we have done is like we have made our life so convenient and so easy, right? To avoid all the hard work or all the hard issues that our previous generations have done. But we didn't take the lessons and the principles that they gained from those hard lessons and those hard work.
But you're still working hard though, right?
Well, some of us are. I don't know about.
I
can't speak for you. I can't speak for you.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. You still working hard, right?
I can only speak for myself. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. So what's going on?
But see, I'm not.
You know, they're still getting out of us what they need to get out of us. So it's like there's no nothing.
You're missing the point, bro. It's going right over your head. Okay, because what I'm saying is that the reason why we have guys are triggered off and they're not able to emotionally regulate, and if their testosterone is decreasing at the rate of 1% every year,
it doesn't matter.
It actually does matter. If you listen to what I'm saying, I'll educate you. Okay, then stop interrupting and let me finish my statement. If the men are dropping their testosterone level 1% every year, all right, that means as they get older, more and more they become depressed. Because testosterone regulates your depression. Testosterone regulates your drive. Not only does it work for your sex drive, but it also your overall drive, your get up and go, and it really affects men if they hit low T. If men get low T, they get really depressed. They get suicidal because why? They're depressed. Exactly. So it is a hormone balance issue, and that people don't talk about it enough about testosterone and its role, because we think about it in a negative context of steroids with, baseball players or athletes that are juicing up. And so testosterone and steroids have got a very negative, rap, but when really you may need to go on them. You may need to use them.
All right. Can I give my opinion? It's not testosterone. It's not steroids, unless you're a particular type of person that goes to the gym and wants to buff yourself up and prove yourself to the women. The fact of the matter is this has been going on for years. In terms of men have been in this situation, and at the end of the day, we have always been providing, and women have always been in a certain type of situation. Now, the tide has turned. Women now are in a different type of situation. Women have the facility to actually go out and do what the hell they want, and men are a bit pissed about it, and that's all it is. At the end of the day, I got a question. Do you have we're just on a level playing field, and we're walking.
Can you back up more and more?
And men want to make excuses about sort of this is what's going on, and no, it's we're equal, and it has been from bang, and if you want to accept it or not, that's up to you. But that's just my perspective.
There's that blue pill shit. Now here it is. Here it is. Okay, listen. If you don't take care of your testosterone levels, by the time you're 50 and 60 and 70, you're gonna be a blubbering, depressive fucking mess. The type of mess that your wife leaves. The type of shit that Jen walks out on. Remember, Jen, those guys who become boring? Yeah, because he has no fucking drive anymore. His penis doesn't work like it used to because his testosterone is all but gone. You know what I mean? And his gut is hanging out. He's losing what makes him a man. He doesn't eat red meat anymore. He cries and he watches the Hallmark Network a lot. You know what I mean? And shit like that. And he loves ice cream. So, you know what I mean? All that shit that you married is gone.
That's terrible. You know what I mean? That's terrible that you even think like that. It's like.
Well, I got a question. Let me chime in here. I got a question.
Wait. Thank you, Brother Ish, for the super chat, the generous super chat tonight. I'm very happy for my smoothie fund. Continue, fellas.
I just got what's the guy's name in the wannabe
superhero?
Simon.
Okay. Look, Simon, I got a question. No, I got a question. Let me ask my question to you. Now, that whole rant that you gave and where you said that testosterone does not play a factor in anything, can you back that up? Do you have something to support that? Because I could pull up right now. If Jen let me share the screen, I will pull up a website with an article from a medical journal that just refutes that bullshit that you just said. Okay, so if you're gonna talk facts, don't talk bullshit.
Simon, here, okay? How old are you? Simon, how old are you?
I'm in my early 40s. Sorry.
Or early 40s.
I'm in my early 40s. I've been in I'm a divorcee for 10 years. So yeah, I mean, I got
Do
some
you have an
gaming
exercise
issues.
regimen? Do you have an exercise regimen, Simon?
I don't need to exercise, bro. I'm built in a certain type of way. Listen, you
I'm
don't
pretty
know
sure
what
you're
I'm
built
about.
a certain type of way. So I'm asking, you know what I mean? Do you have an
I don't need
exercise
to. I
regimen?
don't need to
confirm?
exercise. By the look of your avatar, you need to exercise, but I don't need to exercise. I'm just saying, like, I'm
says the
built in
guy
a
that
certain
hides-
type of way.
There's the
I'm
guy that
just
hides
joking.
behind that
I'm
avatar.
joking. Look, I'll come up in a
Well, the
second.
guy behind that avatar benches 300 pounds, Simon. How much do you bench?
Come on, guys, settle down. Let some
How much do you
let some
bench?
let
What's the
some
question,
feminine
Jen?
talk go here.
I'm gonna come up just on purpose. I'm gonna come up on
Now
purpose.
we got the testosterone starting to raise. Glenn shows up,
Exactly. There you
testosterone
go.
shows up.
Come on,
No,
Simon.
this is the thing. It's like these guys.
There
I'm
you
good.
go.
I'm
Jen,
good
you
for
know
the
what it
male
is.
population.
These guys are
Injecting
like jabbing a
estrogen
heart
there.
behind the fucking avatar, and like you want to talk to me
Okay.
about stuff. I'm slim and slender, and I've got a supermodel ex-wife. You ain't got shit on me. Like, but I'll
Okay.
tell you, right, at the end of the day, I'm kind of interested in this conversation, and that's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh my lord. Right.
Simon,
What's the question? What's the
Simon,
question? Get back
Simon,
to the question, please.
why are you up here, Simon? Why are you up here?
My
Oh,
question,
my
hold
Lord.
on, Tristan, let him answer my question. My question was, do you have anything to support the bullshit that you just said that testosterone doesn't play a factor? That you said it's all about, you know.
Right. I'll tell you something.
Do you no.
Right,
Don't
I'll
tell me.
right.
Don't tell me.
I'm
Tell
answering
me
your
if
question.
if you
I'm
have
answering
evidence to support it or not.
Yeah, I do.
Show me, please. Give me a website, something to provide some facts.
I'm
Because
gonna
if Jen
randomly pull up some website.
well, Jen, you could check the private chat and I'll give you mine. There's already in there.
Yeah, because you're prepared.
Because I'm smart.
No, that's not smart. That's stupid.
No,
But I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, it's stupid to just.
I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, you can't tell me you're smart because you're gonna pull up a website. That's not brilliant.
Well, no, it's smart to
you want a
actually say
certificate or
something that's
something?
supported.
Christ Almighty!
It's
I'm
smart
just saying.
than just talking out of your ass.
Look, bro. I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is it doesn't work like that. You don't walk into a school or a college and go, yeah, I'm smart, I could pull up some sort of website. That's not gonna give you any sort of credibility. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, come on,
what is smart is
oh,
I'm
I'm smart. I'm going to pull up a website. Google does that for you already.
What is smart is if you're gonna say something, you could support it with some evidence to back up the shit that's coming out of your fucking mouth.
Sources.
Yeah, but that takes discourse. So what happens is you go, okay, Simon, if you want to have a conversation about this, we can do that. You don't turn around and try and go, oh, do that right now because I've got some backup in my A drive. It's like what the hell?
If you're gonna say something and say that it's not something else, then you should be able to support something that you just don't like. You got called out. It's okay. It's okay. I'm prepared because when I say something, I make sure I have something to support.
I like your voice too.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hulk Hogan's in the place.
Just don't get mad to get called out. It's all right.
No, I want to address the first question you had in the first place.
Wait a minute. I do want to go back to something Glenn said when you first came up, Glenn.
Thank you.
Back to the topic, is ending your life a form of pro-choice? You had a very strong opinion to it is pro-choice. What do you think about people that are saying it's selfish if you have children and a wife and it's almost Christmas? Someone mentioned it's almost Christmas. Why would he do it before Christmas? How do you feel about that?
Personally, look, the fact that somebody gets to the point where they feel that it's better for them to end their life is very tragic. You know, it's sad in itself. To call them selfish, man, I think that's so judgmental to the point where it's like, do you even know what they were dealing with? Like, do you know what they were battling? Do you know what they were struggling with? And we may find out and be like, oh, it really wasn't that bad. Well, maybe it really wasn't that bad, but they probably didn't have any help to get through it. You know, because a lot of people bottle things up. They don't want to tell people what's going on. And, you know, because they're afraid of, you know, people's opinions of them changing or how they're going to be viewed, you know, like, so they're internally battling this stuff and they didn't feel like they had an outlet or somebody they could trust to go to. So they do it. They take care of it the way they feel they need to take care of it. I don't find that I'm in a position to ever judge somebody for ending their life, or because I do not know the circumstances that they were dealing with that led them to do it. Now, I could feel bad for the children that lost their parents. I'm not going to say, well, they were selfish. You know what's selfish? What's selfish is a single mom that leaves the kids with grandma every night that she goes out to the club. That's selfish. Okay, what's selfish is the dad that ignores his kids and doesn't see his kids because he wants to go fuck these bitches at the club. Now that's selfish. All right, if that's what you want to look about selfish, that's selfish. But we don't know how somebody ending their life and what they're struggling with or what they're battling can really be considered selfish.
Well, I will say this.
Yeah, so,
Hold on. It's a selfish act. I'm not saying the person is doing it. I'm not saying it's necessarily I'm not saying I don't empathize, and they're going through a lot. I'm not saying their problems aren't real. I'm just saying, yeah, it's a selfish act. But there's a lot of things we do that are selfish acts. Some man going and cheating on his wife is a selfish, or vice versa, is a selfish act, and it hurts people. I'm just saying, but yeah, I mean, it's a selfish act. He's not thinking of, especially with kids. Everybody else is off the board. I'm talking about someone whose kids are like in school. I mean, he's not thinking about them. That's selfish, but it doesn't. I'm not trying to judge what he was going through, or whoever does this. I'm not judging what they're going through and saying that it's not real, or it's not a real thing.
Well, you got to think what they're putting in mind, because a lot of times, like guys that have like committed suicide, they have done so because they feel like they failed and that their family is better off without them.
Yeah, that's true. I mentioned that earlier.
I was about to say that.
That doesn't make it selfish. That actually makes it a very selfless act if they have that frame of mind when they end up doing it, because they're not thinking about themselves. They're thinking about, man, you know what? I just need to be they need to be rid of me, and this is the only way I could guarantee that they'll be rid of me. So I'm just gonna X myself out, and that way they never have to deal with me again. It could be something along that.
I get what you're saying. I think that's their reality. I don't think it's the reality.
No. I agree with you. I don't think it's the reality, but that's the mind frame that they have. That's what they have come to believe. So therefore, the act itself in question is not coming from a selfish position.
No, I understand. And I guess, we're just I'm not saying we're going to disagree. I think we agree on a lot. I just say that it's still a selfish act, even if they're doing it in a selfless
absolutely
state of mind. Yeah,
absolutely. It's still a selfish act, but it's the intent. I think that's really important to understand, is like, what was the intent? What was the reasoning for it? Was it because they were selfish and they hated life? Woe is me. Or did they think that the loved ones would be better off without them?
And I know people, like I was saying to Jen earlier, that is a lot of the time what it is. They feel like, they don't see it as, they can survive without me. Things will be better. Yeah, that's a truth for some people. Not the person jumping off during Black Monday, though.
I mean, you lost my money. You better jump off a building. I'm just saying. I think that's fair, because I'm coming for you. But I think, this pandemic has proven that mental illness is real, no matter how anybody wants to look at it. And I think, how can I say this? It's not selfish because that person innately thinks that they're relieving their other people from them. They think they're a burden. So, okay, I'll remove myself from the equation, like everybody's been saying. And it's difficult, because how can you tell somebody who thinks the way they think you're wrong? And I think that's the most difficult part about this. Like, you're like, no, we need you. And his thought, his logic, his damaged brain is like, no, A, B, and C says I need to remove myself.
Right.
And it's very difficult battle. And there's no medicine to help. There's nothing. It's just that you just have to keep pushing through, and hopefully they heal. That's it.
It's true. That's 100% true. I find interesting is, like, when we talk about like suicide and everything, we always look down upon people when they do it. Like, oh, they're stupid. Why do they do that? Well, again, it goes back to like the unknowing. There's so many things that we do not know, you know, of what people are struggling with to really ever really be able to speak on it truly, you know. And we got people when it comes to, and here's the thing, there's so many I think there's a rise in mental health disorders, but I also think that a lot of that is just bullshit too. Like there's so many people that are on so many prescriptions. I heard you earlier before I hopped on, Jen, talking about like the PTSD guy, like, or the guy, the vet, you know, you're dating. Like, it's true. There's a lot of like, hey, if a vet tells you he has some mental health, I guarantee you he does. Okay, I absolutely 100% fact could prove that. But a lot of people are getting diagnosed with shit just because they're fucking weak. You know, they're just so, or they self-diagnose. You know, like they see something online, they read a really cool, you know, medical term, and it's like, oh, I got this too. Look, oh yeah. And they look at the symptoms and they're like, I got that. Oh my gosh. I wet the bed one time, and they start listing all the things that they may have done or they similar. Then they're like, yeah, I have this disease. And it's like cool now to have some disease label. It's like a scapegoat. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that I'm late for work. I have this disease where I just don't have the time to show up on time. Okay, or I procrastinate or whatever the case is. And it's like, you know, it's like become, when I mean weakness, I mean like it's become an excuse for people to not
meet
a standard. So it's like
that's
yes.
a real depreciation of people in general. Like, so you're okay, right? So you can turn around and go, everyone else ain't okay. You can turn around and go, I'm okay. So like, no one's got any other problems just because I'm okay. So what?
No, that's not
what what's your measuring stick? Your measuring stick is like
that's not what I'm saying. Why don't you actually understand what I'm saying, please, before you just chime in? Because I said,
see what happens when you got low testosterone. See what happens. You can't connect the dots, Simon.
He doesn't work out,
like
Haran. He doesn't work out. That's why.
Small shirt, and I can tell that you're skinny as fuck. You're not slender, bro. You're skinny as fuck. Let's
like, hey,
all right, come on. This is getting real gay in here. Let's stop it.
Thank you very much. This guy's commenting on my stature. Why are you even clocking me like that, bro?
What I'm trying to say is,
you like
clock a woman. Yeah, you know, you just did it. Clock a woman. Like, don't
what I've been saying
He's
is
very
like
sensitive, Simon. You're sensitive.
I know.
I'm sensitive.
He's very sensitive. You see what I'm saying, folks?
You turn around with you as well. You were talking to me like we were dating. You're talking to me like we was across the, like,
Simon.
You go, he's so slender. He's so slender.
Calm down, Simon.
God damn.
Hold on. I want to acknowledge this because it's very, very true. Chuckin' and Jiving TV said I got PTSD, but I never went to the army. I got my PTSD from the streets. Laughing out loud. You shouldn't laugh out loud because that shit is fucking real. Okay,
Yeah,
people in the military go to a lot of funerals. I grew up in the South Bronx. I went to a lot of funerals as well. I had friends that I lost that I was just hanging out with and laughing with. And then I heard such and such got shot. I walked over dead bodies. I got shot at, okay, in front of my grandmother's building. So we have PTSD as well. So I just want to acknowledge that it is a fact. And if you grew up in a dysfunctional home with a tyrannical father, that's some more PTSD. So you're absolutely right. They just ignore it when it comes to us because PTSD is synonymous with the military. But you're absolutely right.
I have a bias for when women and teens, when they commit suicide, I have a bias for that. I that really like bothers me because immediately I'm saying to myself like, okay, who failed these people? You know what I mean? What man in their lives failed them? You know what I mean? That their fathers failed them, that their husbands failed them. I remember Jazz Waters during the pandemic. She's a writer. You know what I mean? She's wrote some stuff in Jazz. She committed suicide. And that just really went under. I'm trying to have a moment here, Tristan. And, you know what I mean? And when they
I'm
They
laughing at Tom
found
because I swear I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, I'm gonna mind my business.
Wait, what I do? Wait, what?
I saw that comment the same time you did.
oh shit. Oh
I was
shit,
like,
he
I'm gonna mind
does.
my
See?
business.
You see? You see? You're mad at me. Now everybody's in the comment section telling you you need the lift, bro. You're built like a chick. But anyway,
Well, okay.
Well, wait a minute. Where's
Wait,
Shane? Where'd he
wait.
go?
Let's. Okay. I'll wait. Let me give this disclaimer, Simon. I know how on certain panels you go from panel to panel, and people, joke on you and stuff like that. Jen will strike you. I'm letting you know now. She doesn't do the reactions, so clear warning.
Yeah, I
Peace,
mean,
everyone. Peace and
no,
love.
Don Levon said that Simon got shoulders shake like Jen. That's what he
I
said.
mean, did you
That's
have
what he
to
said.
repeat it
All right,
though?
all right.
I
Did
mean,
you
I
have
think,
to
Yeah, I
repeat
had to
it?
repeat.
All
Yeah, I had to
right.
I
repeat.
think for the people that are blind, that are listening
Exactly.
in, he
I'm
needed
just looking out
to
for
read
the
it out. He
people.
needed
Come
to
on,
read it
man.
out.
Let's stop with that ad hominems. I
you
mean,
guys,
the guy
you guys are
Simon
kind of,
had some legitimate opinions on what
Okay,
he was talking about, and
I'll
now
yeah,
behave.
now
I will
let's not
they're,
behave.
attack him.
they're
I'll
not talking
behave.
about my
Hey,
opinions
I'll
anymore. They're talking
behave.
about my shoulders because
Yeah,
they're
that
very
So
interested.
look,
They're
I
very
do
interested.
I didn't
before
say
we,
that.
hey, before we close and talk about all this selfishness and stuff, I would like to throw up the thumbnail again because not all these people had children. So here is the thumbnail, right? We looking at Chester Bennington, Naomi Judd, DJ Twitch, Anthony Bourdain, Miss USA, Chesley, I'm sorry, Christ. So all these women, these women and men took their life, ended their life. We don't know if they were mentally ill. We don't know if they were depressed. We don't know if they were giving up on life or what was going on with them. So that's why I don't like the idea of stamping them selfish, because some people are just trying to end pain, right? And they are thinking everybody be better off without me than me running around sick and depressed and not being everything they want me to be, being this grand, presence in their life, right? Chesley Christ, she didn't have any children. Was she selfish because she left her mom behind? We just don't know. And she jumped off her balcony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's ballsy.
Yeah, and people don't really appreciate
Anthony
that sort of stuff.
Bourdain is one of my favorite chefs, and I'm not accusing anyone, but let's just say the woman that he was with was a very interesting person.
That's a whole nother
all,
show.
basically.
That's a whole nother show topic,
that's
bro.
What I'll just say that you know what I'm talking about, Glenn.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show topic.
Person.
No,
he was a great guy. He was a dope dude. He traveled the world. He had an amazing life. Brilliant chef. But yeah,
Haran, you were talking about a show topic that nobody wants to talk about.
Nobody wants to really talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about it. And you're talking about, how male suicide and what people will consider weak-ass men or men that get zeroed out go through after divorce or a relationship ends, and how that has factored into male suicide. You're talking about a topic that nobody wants to seriously dive into and actually look at from an objective mind rather than a critical mind.
Wait a minute now. We have a divorcee on the panel, okay? And you guys were mean to him.
Who's that mean to?
Wait. Simon comes, he rushes in the door being a complete dick.
What are you talking about?
His shtick.
I'm a divorcee.
That's what Simon does. That's what Simon does. I mean,
you
it's
see
all
how these
good.
people
It's all
talk.
cool.
You see
I don't hate him.
I don't hate
Simon. He's actually
every
is a function. He actually has a function.
I don't even know this guy.
That's what he does.
I don't even know.
But
He's
anyway,
watched me more than I've watched him. I don't even know your name, bro.
You know what? I only came at Simon because Simon came out with some shit that he had nothing to support his facts. He's just talking out of his ass, and I will correct anybody that does that.
You see what's going on? Going on?
Me calling you out for not bringing evidence.
God damn. God damn. I've got more experience in marriage than combined this whole platform. I would say.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Just stop. All right.
Apart from
Hey,
Jenny,
so-
I'll
but
stop.
you have so much,
I'll
but your
start with
supermodel
Jenny.
ex-wife just left you, right?
Don't get carried away.
No
Okay.
one left.
Save yourself, man.
No one left me. Thank you very much.
So,
Okay.
so shout out to one person you didn't have on there, Chris Cornell. You know who that is?
Yes, that's the
It's
greatest
not.
rock voice,
Soundgarden lead
Listen.
singer.
the greatest rock and roll voice ever to exist in the history of rock.
He did
rock music.
he did a concert in Detroit and committed suicide that night. That's
Yeah,
another
man.
one where people said, I just saw him in concert. He was awesome. He looked so happy.
But let me tell you something. When I was
Yeah.
putting that thumbnail together, I mean, the list, I got tired of scrolling through the celebrities that committed suicide. There were so many. I was like, okay, I'm just going to pick the ones that I remember and the ones that are popular. I do have Chester there from Linkin Park, but I didn't know the other guy. What band was it?
Soundgarden.
Oh,
you know.
okay. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I want to say something you brought up earlier and we never really hit on it. And that is the automatically going to conspiracies when people die, when stars die.
Oh, man.
I literally just got another comment that says, I don't believe it was suicide.
Yeah. That's always, and it's so funny because what I find funny is like, they'll tag somebody like, let's say in the conscious community or whatever, Dr. Sabi, who was like in his 80s. They knocked him off. I'm like, the man was 80 something years old. I mean, people die.
All the time.
You know,
Like he
people
went
do die.
he went to a third world country to a prison. What you thought was gonna happen overnight? I said that he was going to die. I'm like,
And he had pneumonia.
I remember that they said that he was off because he was going to reveal the cure to cancer
Right.
and sell it for free. He was going to give it away for free. Yeah, that's what it was. He was supposed to give it away for free, and that was the.
He was fleeing from the police with lots of money, and he had pneumonia. That is what happened.
everybody was upset. Like, oh, he can't carry $10,000 in cash internationally. Yes, it says that you cannot carry that much money flying. So it's literally illegal.
He was
And Michael
emaciated.
Jackson didn't get killed for his masters, and Prince didn't get killed for his masters either. While we're on
Drug
that
addicts
topic,
die. I don't understand why people forgot they die. They die every day.
It's so crazy. You believe when your cousin gets shot and killed, but you don't believe when Michael Jackson gets killed for being a drug addict. It doesn't make sense. I said they're not holier than thou. They're human beings just like the rest of us. I said just Michael could sing. That was it. That was it.
And dance.
And then
That's true. That's true.
well, it comes down to most people deify these people, and people feel that subconsciously it's like, well, these people are, for all intents and purposes, in their minds, they're gods. So gods don't die like us. There has to be some sort of extreme force, and the Justice League is behind it. It was the Temple of Doom, and then they were poisoned.
And I think some of it is like
crazy shit.
And some of it is like, let's talk about like, TV and movie stars, like with Kirstie Alley. Like, I don't know the last time I saw her in anything. So then you're seeing her as in her good health stage, and you're like, oh my God, she died? What the hell, But then you find, I mean, not that she wasn't really old, but it's just like, all right, yeah, okay, she was. What I think she died. I want to say it's cancer, right? So I mean, but we do.
Said she had cancer.
I think the point is to enjoy people, right? As entertainers, that's what we do. Like, it's not really about anything else.
This is another thing that's chucking and jiving. He never went to court.
I knew it.
Proved that he cured AIDS. Please do the research. He never went to court and proved that he cured AIDS.
I knew I could fish that out of somebody on the panel, on the chat.
But it never happened. That's not what happened in court. Please research what actually happened.
Yeah, all the cures.
Research what happened.
This is one thing. When the government or some type of entity knows you're a threat, they're going to take you out. Why do you think Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar, Dr. Sebi are still around? Because they know they're fucking quacks.
Right.
They like this. These
Exactly.
people pose no threat at
Well,
all.
Dr. Sabi's
like the moment. I'll give you an example. You know what I mean? Those guys that Tristan has just named, they've been allowed to move around without any issue for years. The moment they got their hands on Epstein, that man was dead in a few weeks. So it was just like, yeah. So it's like, if you're really a problem and an issue, they will take care of you quick, fast, in a hurry. I remember they said the CIA killed Bob Marley. I'm serious. They were saying that for a minute. But, you know, it is what it is. As I said before, people tend to deify these people.
That sort of buys back into the conversation that you was having about conspiracy theories, right? So what? You saying they took out Bob Marley?
Pardon?
What?
He's saying that you're diving back into conspiracy theories when you're talking about the CIA killing Bob Marley.
Yeah, I was saying that was horseshit, basically. I was basically saying that was horseshit.
Yeah.
That wasn't natural causing. It wasn't natural causes that he had some sort of cancer in his foot.
That's because he believed not going to the fucking doctor.
That's exactly why. He wasn't believing. He didn't believe in going to the fucking doctor, man. He had some shit in his foot.
You gotta figure out it's Jamaica. I mean, come on. I mean,
just so people understand, he won a case against him practicing medicine without a license because he was prescribing herbs and oils, not actual medicine. It had nothing to do with the AIDS. Nothing at all.
Did y'all ever check out? Did anybody? I just want to ask a question. People seem to be very adamant about, you know what I mean, and very, you know what I mean, they need to be very cognizant about what was in the vaccine and what was actually put in it, and they needed to do their research. But anyone ever check out what Dr. Sebi was actually putting in this shit? I mean, he could have fuck around and put Kool-Aid dust in there. Like, did anyone ever check out that shit?
He was also ordered in court to stop saying that he can cure AIDS. So he didn't win the case that you guys are saying. I mean, anyone in the chat is saying that he won. That is not what happened. Please do the research. Stop parroting shit. If that man could cure AIDS, they would have killed him on sight.
Well, this is the thing. This is not, and anybody on the panel, I know this panel is the smartest panel on YouTube, so I don't have to. But no, I'm serious. We got some sharp people. We all know this isn't like, this is old. This is an old trick. Snake oil salesman. You call them snake oil salesmen for a reason. Mm-hmm. This isn't anything new. This is also what your preacher does when he says, "Come on up here, give me $500 of faith money, and I'm gonna, throw some water on you, hit you in the head, and you're gonna be cured of multiple sclerosis or whatever." So, and they believe it, right? And they believe it going into it. I know there was someone who ordered some of Dr. Sebi's miracle cures. He said he damn near died. He damn near died. Didn't do a damn thing.
Damn.
Like, what was it? Like, was it some sort of elixir or something you mixed?
I don't know what he gave him, but he said he almost died. And it wasn't just because of medicine, it's because he wasn't getting treatment for what he I think he had lupus.
Remember when
he is crazy.
Remember when Michael Jackson hired him and then kicked him to the curb, and then Dr. Sebi was suing the Michael Jackson estate because he wanted all his money, and I think Jermaine gave him like $10,000 and sent him on his way because he was like, "I can cure Michael." And Michael was like, "Get out."
I did not know that.
You didn't know about that lawsuit?
Nah, I did not know about that.
Yes, he tried to sue Michael Jackson for the rest of the money. But Michael found out he was a quack and sent him on his way. He was like, "I want all my money."
Did they say what the agreed amount was on?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now. He wanted some absurd amount of money, and they gave him, I think it was Jermaine. Because Dr. Sebi was going around saying he cured Michael Jackson or some shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Alfredo Bowman, by the way, that's his name. His name isn't Dr. Sebi. It's Alfredo Bowman.
Well, I would imagine, you know what I mean, or Tyrone Jenkins or some shit like that. You know
That's
what
his
I mean?
government name.
There's always some motherfucker like that who turns into Dr. Hushambi or some shit like that or whatever,
Shambi.
or Minister Uhembe. Some wild shit, man.
Oh my goodness. Wait,
So what? He probably would charge like, don't tell me he charged Mike like 300,000.
he charges something crazy.
I'd have charged Mike 300,000. I mean,
Right?
look, man, if you got a whale, you gotta bleed that son of a bitch. Like, yo, you gotta go for the jugular, man. Like, look, man, give me 300 grand. Here's 2 cherries and some dust, and let me know how you feel in the morning. Like, look, listen, man. But you know what though? But you got to look at it like this. A lot of times these situations work on these people because they're at the point of desperation.
Yeah.
And what's very sad is that, look, man, our system, Big Pharma, it doesn't fucking help because these guys, they might not be snake oil salesmen, but their first priority isn't always necessarily to cure the problem. You know what I mean? A lot of times they'll assess how destitute a particular person is, and they'll calculate how long they can pull, you know, a certain amount of money out of this motherfucker if we put him on, you know what I mean, a certain degree of insurance. It all boils down to money. Either you're going to be paying Dr. Sebi or you're going to be paying, you know what I mean, Big Pharma. But when you're in a vulnerable state, human beings take advantage of you, man.
So let me
take advantage of you.
Before we leave for the night, let me read the Alfredo Bowman versus Michael Jackson. It says in 2004, Bowman reportedly treated Michael Jackson prior to his being tried on counts of child abuse. Bowman claimed to have helped the singer Michael Jackson overcome addiction to painkillers, Demerol, and morphine with his African bioelectric cell food therapy. He worked with Jackson for 6 months at a retreat in Aspen, Colorado. After Jackson's brother Randy paid Bowman $10,000, Bowman said, Bowman sued Michael Jackson for related costs, claiming that the singer owed him $380,000 and he was seeking an additional $600,000 in lost revenue for having deferred other clients as various speaking engagements to work with Michael Jackson.
So you charged him around $400,000. I was right. Give me my props on that.
A publicist of Jackson denied that her client received any professional treatment from Bowman or that he had any painkiller addiction at all. The case was dismissed for lack of prosecution. So he was trying to get that money, and Brandy gave him $10,000. I think that's it was good. You got $10,000.
Hey, I mean, you know what I mean? Look, listen. Come on, man. He's probably gonna cut his lights off anyway. That 10,000 probably went a long way. These motherfuckers, they always looking for a new bag anyway. So that 10 grand, it's gonna take care of them. Yeah. But before we're out, I just want to say a few things.
Crazy Legs is in the building. What's up, family? It's all good chucking and jiving. We all here to learn and teach. These guys teach me shit all the time. And Brother Ish is on Muslim time, apparently.
Oh my God!
That's a different time. That's later than CP time.
That's obviously that's later than CP
time. He had to do his journey to the Mecca. You gotta leave Brother Ish alone. He had to go to the Mecca and come back.
I guess Allah gonna show up a lot later than Jesus.
The
avatar is for no saint. Wait, let me blow it up so you can see.
If my sources are correct, I think Ish had some visitors tonight.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You saw that pan? Wait, was it on
that car that you see sitting out there for the last 2 days? Ain't no coincidence, man. Man.
That's not a bakery van, a bakery.
Nah, ain't a bakery van, man. You better watch out. You talk.
The flashing, the little flashes of light from the vacant building across the street.
Exactly. Anytime you leave the house, you hear whispers. Yeah, man.
Oh my
Go and
goodness.
tell Pro. We saw Snowfall. We know how this ends.
These are my sources.
Oh, but I just want to say something before we're out, man. Like, tonight was very interesting. We learned about, a number of things. One of those things being the importance of watching your testosterone levels as men. This is a serious thing, though.
Right. We also learned that Simon doesn't know shit and he doesn't bring facts. Okay.
Absolutely not. But
Oh
as
my
men,
God.
as men, and Glenn and I, we often discuss it. When you reach a certain age as a man, you must
We also learned
protect your
he looked good in his shirt
testosterone
too.
levels.
Nah, I'm just asking.
Oh my God.
What was that? I didn't even hear it. I didn't catch it.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say
What are you
it.
talking? What are you talking?
Y'all
talking
gonna blame me. Y'all gonna
talking shit,
blame
Jenny?
me. So I'm.
I said that we also learned Simon will look good in this shirt.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I don't know. Like I think he might give you a good run for your money on the shoulders thing.
Just
like, you know what?
But yes.
Somebody get Simon's address. We can send him some TRT. I think we should take a donation. Can we get a collection plate, please? Get that, man.
I think I got a fresh bottle of EQ. I got stashed away, bro.
He might need it.
Yeah, it's not a good touch. Anyway. When you reach a certain age as a man, you, especially around 35, pay attention to your testosterone levels. Watch what you eat. Consume more eggs. Consume more meat. I don't give a fuck what the Surgeon General tells you or the FDA tells you. Consume more meat. Consume more eggs.
Oh, you'll make me to throw up.
You know what I mean? Work out. You know what I mean? At the very least, at least do some goddamn push-ups. You know what I mean? But overall, protect your drive and your sensibilities as a man as you get older. Because if you live a sedentary life as a man, as you get older, your body will respond. It will atrophy and it will betray you eventually. And then you'll find out and you'll wake up one morning and you'll see yourself as a shell of the man you once were. And you really don't want that. You don't want that. But overall, I will also say again, if you're struggling with anything in life, yes, overall it is your choice, but it would also behoove you in the interest of all those who love you to exercise all options before you arrive at that very final step to deter you from that. And if you've exercised all options, you've not found anything worth deterring you from that decision, then by all means go ahead and do it, because at the end of the day, it's not like you'll get arrested. So it is what it is.
Let me say one thing, and I'm gonna chime off. But it's serious. I'll be serious this time. I'm not gonna make fun of anybody. Sometimes we got to realize we got to stop and think when we're in our darkest hours. Stop thinking of permanent solutions for temporary problems. Sometimes we act emotionally and we do permanent solutions for temporary problems. And because of what we're feeling and where we're at right there in that moment. And sometimes we just need to take a step back and analyze things, remove ourselves from the equation and look at it at the bigger picture. Because sometimes, some people are taking their lives when they don't need to take their lives. It's just because they're overwhelmed with emotion or something they believe that's causing it. And it's really not that big of a problem in retrospect, but they're not able to see that in that moment. And so you guys just constantly remember, don't make permanent solutions for temporary problems. That's all I gotta say.
Brother Ish, you got anything? You hella late. And he's not there. No, Saint, what's for you?
No, I mean, I agree with
here. The
okay,
mute button, it never works for me. The unmute button never works for me. I'm like, hit the button, hit the button. I think it was very eloquently said to, that if you really feel as if suicide is the only choice and the only option, take some time, take a step back, definitely share your feelings with someone else that you can trust and that you believe in, and see if they can aid you in finding some assistance. But just take some time, because I know I've had moments when I've sat up there and considered suicide, and I was just at an extreme emotional low point, and in just taking an hour away from the circumstances and situation and taking a walk around the block changed my mind. And I saw the options that were clearly in front of me, and the opportunities that I could have exercised if I had just taken a pause and a moment of thinking differently. So I'm thankful for that. I would not have met Jen. I would not have met you all wonderful people. I would not have been investigated by COINTELPRO. All those things. So I'm just, everybody is susceptible to that thought, and just really take a moment and just think, and just breathe, relax, close your eyes, take a walk down the block, go get a cup of coffee, ask Jen out for a date, and she'll tell you the wait. Especially just offer the coffee and she'll say, wait,
ish. If they're already suicidal, then they ask her out and she tells them no. Damn, they're just gonna kill themselves. Jen doesn't even like me now too, and that's it. That's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Don't put that on her. Don't put that on her.
Don't talk to Jen if you're in a bad space. Man.
For your information, look what Crazy Legs said. My broad teared and my eyes are sweating now. He said Jen has been there for me when I needed an ear. She has helped me more than she knows.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely true. I can concur with that. Jen has helped me as well. So she's really actually a very wonderful human being that we all should appreciate, when she's not screaming, yelling, waving hands, and threatening you with knives.
Essentially being Jen when she's other Jen.
All right, that's it.
She's great. She's wonderful.
Hey, we're all just sharing our truths.
Hold on. Just so you know, Jen, remember who didn't say shit? Okay. When you decide to go post on them, just remember who was really with you.
Hey.
At the end of the day, even though she doesn't date him, the two white men had her back. Ain't that something? I'm just saying.
Come on.
I'm not black. I'm just a human being. I'm sorry. I just owned all y'all.
We can all agree. We're having fun here, but we can all agree that Jen is honestly one of the sweetest people I've ever met. You know what I mean? She really is one of the sweetest. No, you're really one of the sweetest people I've ever met. You really are. You're there's some times when I've told you you've been a little bit too nice to people. You know what I mean? And that would shock some people. That would shock some people. You know what I mean? But no, there's some times when I've been the dick. You know what I mean? When I've been the one that's not understanding, and you've been the more understanding one. I will admit that.
Hey, can we do it? We should do a show. I'm sorry, this is a side note. We should do a show on why they have ruined some great Christmas songs. Why is "Baby It's Cold Outside" fucking toxic now? That should be a whole.
Wait, what?
Where do you?
Is it?
We're not.
What?
Yeah,
let's wrap this shit up.
They
I'm
banned
just
that
saying.
song.
Why did they ban that song? It's such a great song.
Right.
Okay, that out another time.
It's time to go now. We're talking about. I'll say this, right? I'll give one thing that Jen would never say, but I'll say it because I'm not ashamed of it. I'm letting y'all know I was in another country, lost my wallet and everything, and Jen came to my rescue because my ass was gonna starve in a third world country. Listen. Where anybody want to say about Jen, I have yet to see it.
Look, what did Jen send you a machete and tell you, have at it, son, go out there and forge and be a soldier?
I'm half asleep. I'm looking at Justin. Where are you? What's going on? Are you kidnapped?
That is very, very interesting because that you would have to question that. Is that a scam or not?
Oh no! I thought she didn't believe me, right? Because I was about to show her a picture. She was like, I thought she thought I was trying to be on some bullshit, and she was like, "Listen, I tried to zen out before copping on any cameras." I'm like, "No, I'm really here." I show her a picture, like I'm stuck.
You know what I first thought? I really first thought it was a scammer because I was like, "Is this really Tristan?" I thought it was.
He had to send you a photo with proof of life with a paper in his hand. Just
imagine him having to go through that, and he's running from like 5 Mexicans with AK-47s, and he has to prove he's even Tristan before judges.
So wait, I
know it's you.
I just need to figure this out. So, Glenn, I think you're in California. You've met Jen.
Not in person.
Not in person. Okay. And what about Haran? In person?
No, actually, we're looking to meet up this. Did we say June?
Yeah, in the summer of June, we're planning like on the block with Jen in person. Everybody come out to Vegas and hang out, and we film.
I cannot wait to bother Haran to the point to get punched in the face. That is a goal. I'm gonna have that goal. That is a goal. What? I'm just listen. I'm not even gonna get mad. I'm like, I deserve it, but you're gonna be even more mad because you're like, this motherfucker really sat there and accomplished the goal to piss me off, and he's not upset. Like you be like, hit me back, nigga. I'm like, nah, because that's what you want.
That sounds pretty cool though. Actually, on the block with Jen in person.
And I've even met Tristan in person. And Tristan, how many years we know each other?
Listen, we've been through wars since Facebook groups, and when was what it was? You had the hit show before I met you, way before that. Yeah, me and Jen became friends because we was just battling out with random people on Facebook. We was like, listen here, you're a fucking loser, you fucking piece of shit.
So yeah, we're planning that in June, like on the block with Jen in person. I want to like record everybody coming into the house. We want to get a big Airbnb. Everybody got their own bedrooms. I said I would cook. I would cook for the house. Haran said he would buy the food. So that's the plan for the summer.
So do I get the invite or am I?
You get the invite.
You and Glenn were invited. Glenn wasn't on, and Saint, you were asleep.
Wait a minute. Hey, hold on. Like, wait a minute. There's only one token white guy allowed to go with these things, okay? And I have been here.
We got a quota, man. We got a quota, man.
I tell you what. Both of you come out and
Hey, Don Laurent, I go to Vegas.
You don't want that.
Don Laurent, I go to Vegas a lot, dude. Like, I've been Vegas quite a bit, Don. So just hit me up and I'll hit you up when I'm out there.
Jim,
well,
no saying
I've got
if he wasn't there. He'd be eavesdropping. You'd have like a little bug in the room, the little camera.
I actually got a good friend out there too. Not that I would have to stay with him.
I bet you do.
Old military guy. Old military.
Oh, you mean the CIA building across the street from the palace?
But no, yeah, definitely. Whenever on Instagram or whatever, just let me know the dates. That way I can get that booked up too. So I mean, whenever it is, I don't.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do
the only way you can. No, Saint, the only way that you can go over if you can get us into Area 51.
Oh my God.
How about
you got to use your pass to get us into Area 51. That's it. If you can't get us in,
I'll show you where they buried Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now, so pay attention to how he said, I'm gonna show you where they buried Jimmy Hoffa. They ain't say nothing about you coming back, man.
No, man. It's just safe.
Oh no, I'll show you around. Oh, Jimmy Hoffa. We'll show you the bullet that took out JFK. We'll show you all of it.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, Don, he's coming. We're really planning to do like a content house, and I want to record everybody getting there and greeting everybody. It's gonna be super, super cool.
I'm gonna need a wingman though at some point in time, because I'm
I
gonna hit the
know,
nightlife up.
Ron.
I'm gonna hit a nightlife up. So
You,
I'm
you
gonna need a
got Brother
wingman at
Ish.
some point in time.
Listen, as holy as Brother Ish be saying, we heard Mr. What do you call himself? Mr. Orgasm something, whatever what do you call himself that night?
Oh, that's true. What you say? That's true.
That's it. So Haran got his wingman. That's Brother Ish. You can say whatever
Hey,
you want.
you gonna be my wingman, Ish?
Those
Now,
who
look,
say don't know, and those who know don't say.
All right, man. We gonna do a Big Willie style, man. Don't. You know what I mean?
I already said I got one rule. Do not bring no ratchet hoes back to the house. We're all gonna be living there.
That's the only thing, man. And guess what? We don't gotta bring them back to the house.
I don't want them peeing in our toilets. I don't want.
So Haran, I'm
Yes, sir.
I am devoted to my abstinence. I'm not getting involved in any kind of.
You can still be a
We're all
wingman.
gonna be solo dolo out there.
You not. Don is coming. No Saint Glenn is coming. For God's sake.
Well, all right, Glenn. I'm gonna pull Glenn with me. Me and Glenn. Well, Glenn got a girl though, man. Glenn got his girl, man.
Is he
And
bringing?
Don is married, man. Oh shit.
Don is married?
Yes, Don is married. Ain't Don married?
But I don't. Are you? Wait a minute. Are you guys bringing sand?
No, I'm not bringing no sand. They're not bringing sand. But I'm saying though,
Sand to the beach. I mean, unless she's
I'll say like this: there probably be no sand to the beach as long as the guys never show Jen's channel. Probably.
Oh, Don ain't married. My bad. Don isn't married. All right, so Don could be my wingman.
He said, "Hell no."
Here's the rule. It's really gonna be a Vegas weekend week. Don't bring your wives or your girlfriends unless they are fun. If they're fun, I'm for it.
Yeah, my wife's fun. I don't know if she'll. Well, we won't have her mom there. She's in Colombia right now. She'll be back this Friday. So we do separate trips now.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've got a pass. Come on.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Hangover 4. Let's go. Everybody trying to find me because that's what's gonna happen. I will wander off.
So that's the plan. We're all gonna chip in and get a gigantic Airbnb. Everybody got their own rooms and no hoes in the house. There's one rule. There's one house.
I'm not bringing any hoes. I'm not bringing nobody back.
How can you say bring no hoes in the house and Haran's coming in the house?
Okay,
we can't exile Haran. That's
if you guys break the rule, it's gonna be a bad.
I'm not bringing Jenny. I'm not bringing no hoes. I'm not bringing no hoes, and I'm not bringing that. My
just escorts
back to the house. I'm not bringing my habits back to the house.
Good. We have to live there for a couple of days. Damn it.
Exactly. I'm not.
How long is this trip supposed to be so I can get this PTO filled out or fake COVID?
I want it to be a week. You guys just wait for a weekend. There's so much to do in Vegas. I don't know we could do it one weekend.
No, I'm not. Yo, look, listen. For me, when I do that, I'm gonna be working from Vegas. I work from home, so I can work for any fucking place, you know what I mean, in the world that I want to. At best, I'll probably take a PTO for like 1 or 2 days.
What's a good time? 3 days, 4 days, 5 days?
I'll be there for a week. I know I'm gonna do a week. I know I'm
gonna. Oh, I can do a week. If we're doing a week, then let's do a week. I just need to know because the Fed is not gonna let me travel with my laptop. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Good night, chucking and jiving. And everybody doesn't have to say the whole amount of time.
So no, I get you. Just whenever you know the time, because the job I work, I gotta look and see. I mean, I can get off a number of days, but if like, in other words, I'd have to put in leave if I'm going to stay a week. I'd definitely have to put in something. But if I can make that decision, but I definitely need to know when it is.
World coming through. See, World say he coming through. World Kings, man.
See. So we're gonna listen. with everybody that's coming, we're going to get a nice big Airbnb. With everybody chipping in, we should get ourselves a really nice crib out here.
I'm just giving
No,
all the money
Saint,
to
we'll
Jen.
just
I don't want to be
schedule it
responsible for
around a
nothing.
federal. No, Saint, we'll just schedule it around a federal holiday, and then you'll be
I
able
knew
to
it.
go.
There you go.
I'll find one of those.
Not the federal holiday. And we'll have some games and stuff set up. We'll talk about some shit. We'll get it on camera. You know what I mean? We'll fuck around.
Hey, if it's
We
late
need a
June, I'll celebrate my
PS5.
birthday.
When's
We
your
need a
birthday?
PS5 in that
June
bitch,
26th.
There you go. What you said, a PS5?
Yeah, we need a PS5 up in there, man. Like something like that, man. We ain't gonna be doing no board games. Come on, man. We ain't
What
gonna be
the
doing
sound
no
of
back-ass
I
board
said?
games, man. Come on, man. No
I
hoes in the
saw
house,
that.
but
That
I'm
was
gonna have
funny.
sex in those seconds.
That was funny. I saw that.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. We're gonna do a live show. That's the plan. That is the plan. I want to get everybody
Yes, sir.
in first, and then we'll do a couple topics live, like at a round table.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. I'd love it.
That's the plan.
love
Summer 2023. Summer 2023. Put some money aside.
Yeah.
Summer 2023.
It's gonna be
That's what I'm
dope.
saying.
Never
Or
been
sooner,
done before, baby. Never
the
been
sooner we
done
figure it
before, it's
out,
gonna be happening.
get those plane tickets and
Oh, Prime Time must be smoking. He said, I can't go. Jen won't be able to keep herself off me. I'm going to take her to go get some coffee. No, sir.
she doesn't like coffee.
I don't fucking drink coffee. I've never drank coffee. These people can't get it through their head. I don't drink coffee. All right, guys. So we are out. Glad we're leaving on a high note, even though we talked about something very, very serious. You know what I mean? One day at a time. One day at a time. Tristan, what you got for us?
I'll keep it simple and sweet. Since we are talking about suicide and stuff like that, I'll say one thing before I show this. Whatever you're going through, if you have nobody to talk to, just give me a call. It does. You can be a complete stranger. If you're going through something and you think you're gonna harm yourself, just give me a call. I will sit there and listen. I think that's fair, and it's okay to not be okay. So just take care of yourselves out there. That's all I say. I love you all. Class is dismissed.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, guys. Okay, if you are still here, mi gente, please hit that like and subscribe for me. I hope you got something out of this show. Like I said before, some of the opinions may be harsh, but you don't have to live and die on anybody's opinions, okay? And like Tristan said, it's okay not to be okay. Please dial 988 if you are feeling a ways this evening or tomorrow or whenever. Keep that number in your pocket. I know we're going through a lot out here, especially after the pandemic. But don't make a permanent decision for something that is temporary or temporary feeling, okay? We do love y'all on the block with Jen. You know how we get down here. And stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll pick up the energy tomorrow, make it fun. I really wanted to address this DJ Twitch passing. All right, guys. So good night, and I see you tomorrow. Don't forget On the Block with Jen, TikTok, Instagram, Gmail, Cash App, On the Block with Jen everywhere. Now, see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. Thank you for all the super chats. I could not do this without you. You don't understand how many times I was like, I ain't going on tonight, but you guys keep me coming back. So thank you. And I'm tired now, and I'm hungry, so I'm out. Good night.